the city. The construction of the Haining-Hangzhou Intercity Railway and the planned Shanghai-Hangzhou Railway will enable Haining to deeply connect with those two cities. The one-hour traffic circle gives Haining all the chances to achieve more success. The world-famous Haining Tide is a gift from nature. It makes the spirit of the city, which is dedication and advancing bravely as tides. Today, Haining is still leading the tide. It has created 3 world-famous special advantage industries and 6 big emerging industries. It is home to the world's largest leather production base and professional market. So far, Haining remains home to China's largest warp knitting industrial base and textile production base. Key platforms with various characteristics are the solid foundation of continuous development of Haining. Haining Economic Development Zone focuses on fashion, new energy, new materials, and the equipment manufacturing industry. The Hainan branch of the Shanghai Caohejing Economic Development Zone, which now is the National Transformation and Upgrading Demonstration Zone in Yangtze River Delta, is now striving to build an international equipment manufacturing and electronic information industrial park, a fashion and innovation park, and the Sino-French Cooperation Park. Haining High-Tech Industrial Park is developing the special industrial clusters of food and beverage, equipment manufacturing, and electronic information. Zhejiang Haining Warp Knitting Industrial Zone focuses on introducing high-end services such as financial services, e-commerce, cultural creativity, and service outsourcing. Haining Yangguang Tourist Resort, with its ancient architecture and 100 miles Qiantang International Tourism Corridor, has accomplished a comprehensive destination with tide viewing, cultural creativity, and ecological tourism. Zhuan Lake International Science and Technology City takes advantage of Zhejiang University International Union College through the coordination of industry, university research, building an internationalized cultural ecological new town. With the rise of industry and platforms, a batch of high-quality domestic listed companies were born, and many of the world top 500 and global industry leading enterprises were attracted to locate in Haining. On the basis of building a powerful industrial city, Haining has been developing rapidly in this hot land, leading by 2 big 100 billion industries, which are fashion industry and new energy and new materials.
Can I have your attention, please? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Your Excellence, distinguished guests, entrepreneurs, investors, and other movers and shakers of the entrepreneurship ecosystem, very welcome to the 2nd China Entrepreneurship Forum, Haining Day. And also a warm welcome to the people that are following us online, either here or in China. My name is Magnus Aronson, and I'm the Managing Director of Esprit, who is co-organizing this forum together with Scandinavia Haining Center. We're doing this in collaboration with the People's Government of Haining Municipal and the Haining High-Tech Industrial Park and the Haining Economic Development Zone. What we want to accomplish with this forum is to increase the collaboration and learning between Sweden and China, with a particular focus on innovation and entrepreneurship and the developing of SMEs. Early this morning, we had 6 finalists presenting in the Haining Day competition, and you will learn more about these finalists later during this afternoon. Also this afternoon, you will learn more about what Haining City can offer entrepreneurs and businesses that want to establish their companies in China, and more particularly in Haining City. We will also learn from Swedish entrepreneurs that have already taken the road to China and how it is and their experiences on doing business there and establishing their businesses in different parts of China. And not at least, at the end of the day, we will have the prize ceremony for the 2019 Haining Day competition. And we also, during the day, will have a signing ceremony where a number of agreements are made between some Swedish companies and different stakeholders in Haining City. One very practical thing, if we, by any case, which won't happen, we have an emergency, there is an emergency exit there and down there. So everybody look for that and know where to exit if something we have to abandon the building, which won't happen, but in case. And also, one of the most important things when one is attending a forum or a seminar is to make new connections. So I urge you and encourage you to, in the break and also in the mingle at the end of this day, make certain that you leave with many new connections, and particularly reach out and talk to the members of the Haining City delegation, because they are your future partners in establishing when you are thinking about China. So I would like to end there, and I would ask to have a representative from our co-organizers come up on stage. Dr. Julie Wang from Scandinavia Haining Center. Please join me.
Thank you, Magnus. Good afternoon. I'm happy to see our number of participants to the forum as well as the applicants to our competition has been increasing this year. The Scandinavia Haining Center, as I'm presenting now, is active in exporting Swedish technology to China, in particularly the city of Haining. Last year, we have brought 12 companies to Haining. 3 of them went into the landing process. 1 of them is signing the landing contract with Haining just in the forum. We also go far beyond the landing program by seeking opportunities of integrating the technology from our winners into products and services that is demanding in the Chinese market. I can share a story. One of the second place winner of last year has found their biggest OEM customers through us, and it's the same company is now working with us closely in a vast energy storage project in northern China. So I'm pretty much looking forward to the outcome this year. And thanks to Magnus' contribution, I hope all of our guests would enjoy in the afternoon. Meanwhile, grab any opportunities to connect to us, to the Haining delegation, to our speakers, our entrepreneurs. Okay, enjoy.
Thank you, Julie. Yeah, I'm on. So, without further ado, please let me introduce and give a warm welcome to Mr. Kongju Gui, the Chinese ambassador to Sweden. Thank you.
尊敬的海宁市委书记朱建军先生，尊敬的各位朋友们、女士们、先生们，大家下午好，中午好。
Distinguished Secretary of Haining Municipal Party Committee, Mr. Zhu Jianjun, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good afternoon.
那么我代表中国驻瑞典大使馆，对朱建军市委书记率团访问瑞典表示热烈欢迎，对瑞准企业家论坛海宁日活动的举办表示热烈的祝贺，对出席活动的瑞典商界朋友们和长期致力于中国中瑞经贸、投资等务实合作的各界人士表示衷心的感谢。
On behalf of the Chinese Embassy in Sweden, I'd like to extend warm welcome to the delegation led by Party Secretary Mr. Zhu Jianjun. I'd also like to extend warm congratulations on the opening of the China-Sweden Entrepreneurship Forum, Haining Day, and my heartfelt thanks to friends from the Swedish business community for coming out here and those that have long been promoting China-Sweden trade and investment cooperation for their support.
那么中瑞友好合作源远流长，瑞典是 第一个同中国建交的西方国家，也是最早与中国签署经贸科技协定的西方国家之一。
China and Sweden have long-standing friendship and cooperation. Sweden was the first Western country to establish diplomatic ties with China and was one of the first Western countries to sign an intergovernmental agreement on trade and science cooperation with China.
那么在双方的共同努力下，近年来中瑞贸易投资合作快速增长。2018年，我们的双边贸易额达到创纪录的171.5亿美元，同比增长15%。
In recent years, trade and investment cooperation between our two countries grew rapidly. In 2018, bilateral trade hit a new record, reaching $17.15 billion, growing by 15%.
那么，其中中方出口82亿，增长16.7%，自瑞方进口89.5亿，增长13.5%。我们希望中瑞贸易继续大幅度增长，而且瑞方的顺差继续扩大。
The Chinese side exported $8.2 billion to Sweden, up 16.7%, and imported $8.95 billion from Sweden, up 13.5%. We hope that such a number will continue to grow and the surplus of Sweden will continue to be maintained.
中国不像美国那样害怕外方贸易顺差，我们希望外方包括瑞典扩大对华贸易顺差。
China does not fear a trade surplus with other countries, unlike the United States. On the other hand, we hope such a surplus on the Swedish side will continue to expand.
而且我向瑞方朋友们保证，你们顺差再大，我们也不会对你们打贸易战。
And also, you have my word, my Swedish friends. No matter how large this trade surplus grows, we will not wage a trade war with you.
那么同时呢，中瑞双向投资也呈现快速增长态势。那么到去年12月份，瑞方累计对华投资1537个项目，共50.1亿美元。那么中方对瑞方累计投资75.5亿美元，反映出中方企业对瑞方的投资兴趣日益浓厚，投资领域也越来越宽。
Besides, two-way investment maintains a momentum of fast growth. As of December 2018, the Swedish side accumulatively invested in 1,537 projects in China, worth $5.01 billion, and the Chinese side, $7.55 billion in Sweden, which demonstrates a growing interest of the Chinese companies to invest in Sweden and to invest in more areas in Sweden.
那么同时呢，我也希望在座的瑞方朋友，扩大对华投资。使得瑞典对华投资跟中方对瑞典的投资能够保持一个相对平衡的增长。
Also here, I hope that the Swedish investment will also grow in China. Therefore, we can maintain a dynamic equilibrium in terms of our mutual investment.
我也反复的在各种场合跟瑞方朋友讲，中国也一点也不惧怕来自瑞典的投资，你们对中国的投资多多益善。
And I've said this on many occasions to my Swedish friends, that the Chinese side does not fear investment from the Swedish side. The more, the merrier.
我们不但不害怕，而且我们热烈欢迎。
Not only do we not fear it, but we embrace it and welcome it.
那么，女士们、先生们、朋友们，过去40年，中国经济快速发展是在开放条件下取得的。在经济全球化深入发展的今天，中国开放的大门只会越开越大。
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, China's fast economic growth over the past 40 years has been achieved with a commitment to opening up. In a deeply globalized world today, China's doors will only open up wider.
今年4月底，第2届“一带一路”国际合作高峰论坛在北京成功举办，近40位国家元首、政府首脑和国际组织领导人出席。来自150个国家、92个国际组织的6000多名外宾参加了论坛，这是中国进一步对外开放的新起点、新征程、新成果。
At the end of April this year, the second Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation was successfully held in Beijing, and nearly 40 heads of state, government, and international organizations participated in the forum. Over 6,000 foreign guests from 150 countries and 92 international organizations participated in this forum. This is a new starting point, a new journey, and new outcome of China's efforts to further open up.
那么很遗憾，去年瑞方的基础设施大臣参加了“一带一路”论坛，今年瑞典政府代表缺席了第2届“一带一路”论坛。
But unfortunately, last year we had the representation of Sweden by the Minister for Infrastructure. This year we're missing a representative of the Swedish side.
那么我也代表中国政府向瑞典政府表示，希望瑞典政府和企业家们能够更深入地参与“一带一路”合作。
On behalf of the Chinese government, I hope that there can be more representation of the Swedish side by its government members and members of the business community.
那么今天瑞准企业家论坛海宁日活动在这里举办，可以说是中国开放的大门越来越大的又一个例证，也显示出中瑞经贸务实合作仍有更广阔的前景。
Today, the China-Sweden Entrepreneurship Forum, Haining Day, is successfully held, which is another example of China's doors opening wider and shows that China-Sweden economic and trade cooperation has bright prospects.
那么，瑞典是创新大国和科技强国，中国也在大力实施创新驱动发展。瑞典企业的技术和产品优势与中国的资金和技术和市场优势相结合，将为两国企业带来更大、更好的发展。
Sweden boasts very strong innovation, science, and technology, and China is pursuing innovation-driven development too. By synergizing Sweden's strength in technology and products and China's capital and market, companies from our two countries will achieve greater development.
那么，海宁市是中国首批沿海对外开放的城市之一，现在在中国北强县中排名第22位。 市场繁荣，经济发达。
Haining is among the first Chinese coastal cities to open up. As the 22nd most economically developed county in China, it has a vibrant market and a dynamic economy.
那么，如果我没记错的话，中国应该总共有3800多个县市，是吧？那么海宁市在经济发展中排名第22位，也可以说在中国这个也是百里挑一了。
If my memory is correct, there are around 3,800 counties in China. Now Haining ranks 22 amongst all of them. It shows that it is truly one of a kind, and it really leads its pack.
那么，除了具有传统的优势的纺织和金边产业，海宁市时尚产业欣欣向荣，新材料、新能源、电子信息和高端制造业蓬勃发展，正在迈向高质量发展。
Besides its traditionally strong textile and warp knitting industries, its fashion business is also blooming, the new materials, new energy, electronics, and high-end manufacturing prospering, putting Haining on a track of high-quality development.
那么，在过去的1年，北欧海宁中心探索出符合瑞典国情和商业文化的招商流程和营商环境推广办法，取得了实质性合作成果。希望北欧海宁中心进一步密切与 海宁市政府和瑞典企业家的交流合作，将海宁日活动越办越好。
In the past year, the Scandinavia Haining Center explored a business promotion model that suits the Swedish realities and business culture and achieved substantial outcomes. It is hoped that SHIC will deepen exchanges and cooperation with the government of Haining and the Swedish business community and make Haining Day a bigger success.
希望在座的双方企业家们秉持开放、合作、共赢的宗旨，积极洽谈合作项目，结交合作伙伴，为促进中瑞经贸合作做出新的贡献。
It is also hoped that the CEOs here will follow a spirit of openness, cooperation, and mutual benefits, actively explore cooperation projects, forge partnerships, and make new contribution to China-Sweden economic and trade cooperation.
那么，我们中国驻瑞典大使馆将做好与海宁市政府的对接工作，共同推动海宁市与瑞方的友好合作。
The Chinese embassy will dock with Haining city government and work together to advance cooperation between Haining and the Swedish side.
那么，我预祝今天的海宁日活动取得圆满成功。谢谢大家。
At last, I'd like to wish the event a great success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. And to the next speaker on our program, I'm honored and happy to introduce Mr. Xu Jianyun, the Secretary of the China Haining Municipal Committee. Welcome up on stage. We're going to get the slides up. Yes. Does he want to? Next, okay. No. Oops. The Haining environment. Yes. Is it on?
尊敬的中国驻瑞典大使桂从友先生，尊敬的瑞典国家企业创新部副部长玛丽瓦尔女士，尊敬的各位瑞典企业家朋友们、女士们、先生们，大家下午好。
Distinguished His Excellency Mr. Gui Chongyou, Distinguished Deputy President Madam Marie Vau of Esprit, and distinguished entrepreneur friends from Sweden, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
首先，我谨代表中国浙江省海宁市，对各位嘉宾的到来表示热烈的欢迎。今年已经是我们连续第2年在斯德哥尔摩举办瑞典的海宁日活动，借此机会与各位新老朋友们相识相聚，共商合作，我感到十分的荣幸。接下来，由我将海宁市的整体概况和环境向大家做个简要的介绍。
First of all, on behalf of Haining City of Zhejiang Province from China, I'd like to extend our sincere welcome to all of the distinguished guests for joining us in the afternoon forum. This is already the 2nd year we organize Sweden Haining Day event in Stockholm. Taking this opportunity, I would like to know more new friends to discuss the future chance of collaboration, and I feel deeply honored and privileged for this. Next, please allow me to spend some time introducing the profound and the environment in Haining City.
海宁位于浙江东部的沿海地区，浙江省的东北部，南平钱塘江，地处中国最具经济活力的长三角区域核心地带。我今天上午看到了一个消息，中共中央政治局全会通过了中国长三角一体化发展的战略规划纲要。 这将是我们长三角地区发展的一个重要的节点。我们全市区域面积700.5平方公里，常住人口有80多万，是杭州都市区的核心区，杭州湾经济区的重要支撑点。
Haining is located in the eastern coastal region of China, which is in the northeast part of Zhejiang Province and south to the Qiantang River. It is located in the most vibrant economic region in the Yangtze Delta region of China. Actually, I have just received the latest news from China. The regulatory body has already 100% votes to develop the Yangtze Delta region as the most integrated economic zone. It will become a critical development point in the future. For Haining City, the geological area is 700 square kilometers, with the resident population at 800,000. It is the core economic zone around the Hangzhou Bay region, which is also an important pivotal platform.
海宁区位交通优势明显，西与杭州零距离的接壤，东距上海120公里，南望宁波100公里，北离苏州90公里。 以海宁为中心，2个小时的车程，都可以到达长三角的主要发达城市。周边有浦东、虹桥、萧山等5大机场，沪杭铁路、沪杭高铁2条铁路贯穿海宁，沪杭高速、杭浦高速等5条高速公路穿境而过。在海宁城市的任何一个地方，10分钟都可以到达高速路口。 海宁海运以及内河航运也较为发达，上海港、大 大小洋山港等4大港口环抱周围。
Haining is a city with great transportation advantages. On the west, it is close to the neighbor city of Hangzhou, and it is 120 kilometers away from Shanghai on the east. And on the south, we have 100 kilometers away from Ningbo and Suzhou 90 kilograms to the north. Centered in Haining city, within 2 hours of drive, you will be able to arrive at any developed cities in the Yangtze Delta region. Around the neighborhood, there are 5 major airports, including Pudong, Hongqiao, and Xiaoshan International Airports. We also have 2 railways connecting Haining city, including Shanghai-Hangzhou Railway and the Shanghai-Hangzhou high-speed railway connections. And there will also be 5 high main roads connecting Haining with other cities, including Shanghai and Hangzhou and Hangpu. Within 10 minutes, everywhere from Haining city, you will be arrived to the portal of the high-speed road connections. We also have very much developed inland water transportation systems. There will be 4 portal cities around the Haining city, including Shanghai Port and Yangshan Port.
2条快速通道建设将使海宁能够更加快捷的龙航接沪。海宁至杭州的城际铁路正在建设中，预计2020年底建成，和杭州地铁形成无缝的对接。 我们实现涓湖拥抱西湖、海城融入杭城的战略目标。另外一条就是沪渣杭铁路，也已立落铁路的建设计划，起至上海，经过海宁到达杭州，是杭州与上海之间的又一条快速通道。
Construction of the 2 faster channels of transportation will enable Haining for better and more integrated to Hangzhou and Shanghai city. The intercity railway between Haining and Hangzhou are currently being constructed, and it is estimated to be launched in the year 2021, which will get connected to Hangzhou subway station and systems in a seamless way. So the Zhenhu Lake of Haining will be impressive to the Xihu Lake of Hangzhou, and the total Haining city will be very much combined with the strategic development goal of Hangzhou city as well. The railway connection from Shanghai, Zhapu, and Hangzhou is already listed in the total planning project, starting from Shanghai, going through Haining, and the final destination will be in Hangzhou. It will become another important channel to connect Hangzhou and Shanghai.
海宁是一座人杰地灵的历史名城，在海宁的土地上，已有此良渚文化的发源地之一，至今已经有6000至7000年间，在海宁土地上已有先民治古生息，自古以来文化底蕴深厚，名人辈出。著名的国学大师王国维、武侠小说金庸、新月派诗人徐志摩、军事理论家蒋百里、实业家查继民等都是海宁人。潮文化、名人文化和灯文化3大文化享誉海内外。
Haining is a city with outstanding people and great culture. It is also one of the original source of Liangzhu culture, which has been developed for the past 6,000 to 7,000 years. The ancestors of Haining has already started a splendid culture with great celebrities. Famous sinologist Mr. Wang Guowei, martial art novelist Jin Yong, Crescent Group poet Xu Zhimo, military theorist Jiang Baili, and industrialist Zha Jimin, they are all originated from Haining. The 3 cultures, including Chao culture, celebrity culture, and lantern culture, has also been well renowned around China and abroad.
深厚的文化底蕴和区位优势，促进了海宁经济的繁荣发展。海宁也是创新活力的经济强势。18年，全市实现地区生产总值 948.73亿元，财政总收入 153.1亿元，一般公共预算收入 89亿元，列中国经济100强县第22位。2018年全国中小城市投资潜力100强县第8位。福布斯2018年中国大陆最佳商业城市县级市第6位。目前，海宁已经吸引了伊藤忠、美国江森智控等世界500强。 全球行业龙头企业和各方面的央企投资海宁，同时海宁也重视本土企业的发展，现在已经有13家上市公司，24家新三板上市公司。
Haining's economic prosperity and development is heavily contributed by the deeply culture and the great transportation advantages. Haining is also an economic powerful city in the county level with great innovation. Throughout the whole year of 2018, Haining City had achieved the local GDP of 94.8 billion RMB. The total fiscal revenue accounts for 15.3 billion. The general public budget revenue is 8.9 billion RMB, which makes Haining the number 22nd of China top 100 county and the number 8th of the top 100 middle and small-sized city with the most investment potential. Haining City was also awarded as the number 6th of best commercial county city in mainland China by Forbes. Currently, Haining has attracted multiple multinationals, including top 500, including Itochu from Japan and Johnson Controls from the United States. In the meantime, Haining also attached great importance to the local companies' development. There's already 13 listed companies in Haining altogether, with 24 listed in the New Three Boards.
经济蓬勃发展的同时，海宁也致力于打造生态和谐的品质之城。海宁社会和谐稳定，治安秩序良好，被授予全国文明城市、中国优秀旅游城市、国家级生态示范市、国家园林城市、国家卫生城市等荣誉称号。创业服务和生活配套十分的完善。
Alongside with the prosperous economic development, Haining City is also dedicated to create an eco-friendly and harmonious city with great and high-quality development strategy. Haining has very harmonious and stable social activities with excellent securities. It was announced and awarded as the National Culture City, National Tourism City, National Eco City, National Garden City, and National Sanitary City, along with all of the others. Innovation services and all of the life-related facilities were also very complete.
朋友们，上个月召开的第2届“一带一路”国际合作高峰论坛上，习近平主席宣布了中国将采取一系列重大改革开放的措施。大家普遍认为，这对中国和世界都是好消息，将为共建“一带一路”和世界经济发展提供了重要的机遇。作为首个与中国建交的西方国家和北欧最大的经济体，瑞典参与“一带一路”有独特的优势和广阔的前景。在这个中国加大对外开放的背景下，我们来到斯德哥尔摩这座国际大都市，深深地被这里的名胜古迹和秀丽的风景所吸引，深深地被这里人民的热情和善良感动，深深地被这里的科技和产业的发达所震撼。在此，我向在座的各位新老朋友发出盛情邀请，欢迎各位朋友们来海宁走走看看。
Dear friends, the second Belt and Road International Cooperation Forum was organized last month. And during the forum, President Xi Jinping has announced a series of important revolution and open up methodologies China is about to implement. It is generally believed that can be excellent news for both China and the worldwide. We will be making great opportunities and contributions to the world economic development and the future implementation of the Belt and Road Initiative. As the very first Western countries to establish diplomatic relations with China and the largest economic entity in Scandinavia, Sweden's participation in the Belt and Road enjoys great advantages and great prospects in the future. Upon such a major background of opening up from China, we are coming to Stockholm as an international metropolitan city. We are deeply touched and appealed by the sceneries and the kindness of the people here. We are also shocked by the technology and the enthusiasm we invest in the enterprises. So hereby, I'd like to invite all of the new and old friends to Haining for visiting around.
海宁的产业特色鲜明，皮革、金边和家纺是海宁的3大特色优势产业，也是海宁发展时尚产业的基础，已经孕育出卡森国际、慕容控股、安正时尚等多家上市企业。同时，海宁聚焦高端装备制造、太阳能利用、印刷包装、汽车零部件、电子信息、食品等6大新兴战略产业，产业链不断的延伸。同时，海宁把泛半导体产业作为培育重点，主攻集成电路的关键装备和材料领域。从18年至今，共引进 泛半导体产业项目33项，签约总投资187亿，已成功引进京东方、中国电子、华为、士兰卫等一批行业龙头企业，占地1170亩的泛半导体产业园在建设中，建成后总产值可以超过200亿。
Haining has great advantages and specialties in the enterprises. Warp knitting, leather, and home textiles are the three traditional advantaged industry in Haining City. It is also the fundamental building block for Haining to develop the fashion industry. We have already the companies including Casa International, Murong Holdings, and Anzheng Fashion, with many other listed companies. In the meantime, Haining has also gathered 6 emerging areas in the strategic formats, including equipment manufacturing, solar energy, packaging and printing, automotive components, electronic information, and food. The supply chain and value chain has been further extended. Haining also treats the semiconductor industry as an important building block. We will be focusing on the R&D for the key intellectual circuits material. Starting from 2018 until this year, we have already 33 projects in the semiconductor field, with a total investment in the agreement by 18.7 billion RMB. We have also introduced the companies including BOE, China Electronics, Huawei, Silas Micron, along with the other flagship companies in the industry park, accounting for 1,170 acres of land. We will be estimated a total 20 billion RMB of total capacity.
海宁的平台配套齐全，能满足不同产业的差异化需求。海宁经济开发区、高新技术产业园区、尖山新区、娟湖国际科技城，都是承接装备制造、电子信息及新能源和新材料的优质平台。其中，海宁经济开发区作为国家级转型升级的示范开发区，重点发展泛半导体产业、时尚产业和高端装备制造业，并设立了上海和浙江两地首家跨省合作的园区——上海漕河泾新兴技术开发区海宁分区，推动产业的升级和合作开放，促进价值链向高端化和国际化发展。高新技术产业园区紧邻杭州，重点发展高端装备制造、电子信息和医疗器械等产业。尖山新区是杭州湾区外贸空间1000亿量级的产业大平台，重点发展新能源、新材料和高端装备等产业。金边产业园与市区接壤，以金边及相关产业为主导，重点发展金融、智慧创意等生产性服务业。海宁娟湖国际科技城依托浙江大学国际联合校区，重点发展新材料、大健康和新一代的信息技术。
Haining has great facilities and all the necessary infrastructures needed to satisfy the differentiated needs of different industries. Haining Economic Development Zone, High-Tech Industry Park, Jianshan New District, and Zhenhu International Tech City are important platforms to capture the opportunities in the field of manufacturing, information technology, new energy, and new material. Haining Economic Development Zone is a national pilot operation zone. The focus will be on fashion industry, semiconductor industry, high-end and premium equipment manufacturing industry. As the very first cross-provincial collaborative industry park, Shanghai Caohejing Emerging Technology Development Zone, Haining Campus, is already established. The campus will be dedicated to promote industry upgrade and opening up to further promote the premium development and internationalization of the value chain. High-Tech Industry Park of Haining is very close to the neighbor city of Hangzhou, paying great attention to high-end manufacturing, information technology, and medical devices. Jianshan New District will be around the Hangzhou Bay area. It will be having a focus on new energy, new material, premium equipment, and the others. The warp knitting industry park is close to the urban area, focusing on other industries including knitting, paying also attention on finance, smart innovation, and other service industries. Haining Zhenhu International Tech City is affiliated to Zhejiang University International Campuses with a great focus on new material, great health, and next generation IT.
海宁的服务高效完备，从生活服务、人力资源到行政服务，海宁致力于成为一个高水准、 高效率和高配置的服务型城市。在人力资源方面，海宁是全国教育先进县市，各级各类学校完备，基础教育质量优良，职业技术教育和继续教育独树一帜。海宁紧邻杭州下沙大学城，已成功引进浙江大学国际联合学院、浙江财经大学东方学院、浙江机电职业技术学院等高校，浙江大学英国爱丁堡大学联合学院、浙江大学美国伊利诺伊大学厄巴纳香槟分校联合学院已于2016年9月入驻开学，形成了一加 X 的合作办学模式。目前，浙江大学与英国帝国理工学院签约共建应用数据科学的联合实验室，与宾夕法尼亚大学霍顿商学院签署备忘录，共建霍顿商学院。下一步还将与麻省理工学院、沃尔等更多的国际化院企进行合作。法国与海宁合作的中法合作产学研园区项目，外资企业所需的高技能人才将由海宁技师学院和法国冶金及机械行业工业联盟 UIMM 巴黎10大共同培养。综合配套方面，海宁的医疗设施完善，在本地可享受上海专家、省级专家的医疗服务。各类服务机构如行政中心、海关、商检、外汇管理等一应俱全。特别是2016年开始的最多跑一次改革，实行一窗受理、集成服务，推行事项无差别全科受理，企业可享受一站式的审批服务。海宁还是金融和非金融机构设施最齐全的县市之一，企业投资和发展融资选择多、空间大、成本低。
Haining has one of the most complete service available here. From life quality services, human resources to administration, Haining is dedicated to become a high quality, high efficiency, and highly configurable service-oriented city. As of human resources, Haining is one of the most advanced county for education. There is a very complete infrastructure in different levels of educational system. The primary education has a great quality. Vocational education is also one of Haining's advantages. Haining City is close to Hangzhou Xiashan University campus. It has introduced great collaborations with the Zhejiang University International Campus, Zhejiang Financial University Oriental Campus, Zhejiang Mechanical Vocational School, and the others. There is also great international collaboration results. Zhejiang University and Edinburgh University of the United Kingdom has already set up a joint campus here, and Zhejiang University with the Urbana Champion campus of Illinois University in the United States had already initiated the recruitment of the students in 2016 in September. The 1+X cooperative education model was also innovated. Currently, Zhejiang University has signed an agreement with Imperial College London for an applied data science collaborative laboratory. There is also an MOU signed between Zhejiang University and Pennsylvania University Wharton Business School to establish Wharton Business School next step in the future in China. We will also be working with MIT, Walmart, and other international organizations to set up further collaboration. The collaboration projects between Haining and France regarding the Collaborative Industry Research Institute and the Industry Park project is implementing as well. All of the talents needed by the foreign enterprises will be trained by UIMM, the Nanterre University en Paris, and this will be a trained project. As of the infrastructure, Haining has great medical facilities. In the local region, we can enjoy the experts, clinicians from Shanghai and other provincials. Different service organizations, including administration, custom, inspection, foreign exchange management is also very complete. Starting from 2016, the strategy of once and for all revolution, an integrated service platform is also established. You only need to go to one specific office to handle all of the administrative work instead of running around. Haining is also a county with great finance and non-financial organizations. The companies will be having enough opportunities to invest for future purpose.
我们经常说，海宁是上海的后花园，但在这里，你能享受到更为经济实惠的商务成本、 更为优美舒适的生活环境，更为便捷完善的配套设施，更为高效诚信的政府服务，使企业开拓中国市场国际化战略布局的优选之地。
As people often say, Haining can be regarded as the backyard of Shanghai. But here in Haining, we have great specialties. You will be enjoying great and more economical business opportunities with excellent living quality and convenient facilities. The government is also trustworthy and with great transparency. It can be an important hub for international enterprises to capture China market with the international strategic landscape and planning.
各位嘉宾，各位朋友，我们真诚地欢迎您和你的朋友来海宁观光考察、投资兴业。最后，祝大家身体健康，事业腾达。谢谢大家。
Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, we sincerely welcome you and your friends to come to Haining for a visit and for investing in us. Lastly, I would like to wish everyone great health and the best wishes to your career. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Skype. So we're moving on to the next part of the program, and we're planning of having Dr. Nanna Lundin here on the stage, but unfortunately she had to stay put at the Swedish Embassy in Beijing, but we will have her on Skype. But also in that session we have Marie Wall, who is the startup director at the Swedish Ministry of Enterprise Innovation. So please, Marie, join me on stage while we make the connection. Nej, ingen prestation. Skype. So while we're waiting for Nanna to appear, Marie, so what are you working on with regards of China when it's come to learning about their ecosystem?
Yes. Is this on? Maybe not. So, hello? Is it on? No? Yes? Okay. I'm trying. I'm putting it closer to my mouth. Okay. My name is Marie Wall, and I'm the Startup and Scale-Up Director in the Swedish government. So my primary goal is to make sure that our startups and scale-ups in Sweden can grow with Sweden as a base, and that we have a dynamic startup ecosystem in Sweden. Part of that, of course, is to make sure that those companies have access to the larger markets out there, where China is one of the most important markets. Ska det vara översättning?
Nej, det översätts simultant.
Okay, good. So, and me and Nanan, that is our science and attaché in Peking, we went around and visited a lot of ecosystems in China before Christmas. And it was an eye-opener and super interesting. What we saw was a really dynamic, fast-moving, innovative, growing market where there's a lot of things happening everywhere. But we also saw that this was a very difficult market for especially young, innovative tech companies to address. It's a big market and it's complex. And when you have this kind of big, complex market, we met with Nihab in Hangzhou. And the director in Nihab, he had this quote on the wall that was so telling. He said that everything is possible in China, but nothing is easy. And I would say that in Europe it's the opposite. everything is easy, but there's a lot of things that is not even possible. So when those two cultures meet, it's obvious that we need to have guides that help our Swedish companies to do business in China. We can't just go there and expect, as a small company, you can't just go there and expect to grow and expect to find right partners right away. So what we see is that we need to help our Swedish companies to find the right partners, to establish the right kind of partnerships with people, with cities and accelerators and incubators that can really help them to minimize the mistakes and to increase the success when they go to China. And I think this is so important. So one of the most important things as a country that we can do is really to build those relationship with incubators and with cities that can strengthen the networks. Another thing I think is so important right now is that we have been focusing when it comes to startups and scale-ups. There's been on inspirations. There have been a lot of trips to China to get inspired. There's been a lot of trips from China to Sweden to be inspired. But I think that now it's time to really establish businesses, to have business relationships between small companies in our respective countries. And from the Swedish perspective, we really would like to see Chinese companies coming to Sweden as well. What I understand is that a lot of Chinese companies, if you're a startup in China, you usually are not addressing the Chinese market all at once. You go to one region and try out your concept and see if it works there. Before you launch in China. And you could look at Sweden in the same way. You could go to Sweden and test your idea before launching into Europe. So we would like to be this launch and test bed for Chinese companies in Sweden, and we would like to establish relationship with Chinese actors to help Swedish startups to be successful in China. So, and I think that's my main message.
Nanan, do you want to add something to what Marie said?
Good afternoon, everyone. Magnus, Marie, can you hear me well?
Yes.
It's first of all, many congratulations on such an interesting and good event. It's as Marie said, and we made our first scoping mission last year. So first, I have to state that in terms of bilateral cooperation between Sweden and China, it's always have been a focus on big companies and established actors. So we do see now that the entrepreneurship and SMEs are becoming new focus for our future collaboration for several reasons. And first of all, we see that I think in Sweden we always see the SMEs is a very dynamic and the most innovative part of the innovation system, but it was not like in China. I think in recent years, I think the role of SMEs and entrepreneurship in the innovation system of China has been fully recognized. I think this is something that's happening in China. So that has happened, and that also makes it possible that we have this new collaboration links between China and Sweden on innovation collaboration. This first I want to say. And the second, I think that because it's new, and also I think Sweden also very new in this area. And Marie and I, we not only see many ecosystems from China, but also we see our European partners and also Nordic countries. They have been in China longer than we are. So I think there's a lot of accumulated experience of how to support companies from Europe and Nordic countries in China. I think we can draw a lot of synergies and take advantage of. So having that said, I totally agree with Marie is that first of all is a lot of risk minimization. It's because it is a very complex environment, and sometimes some mistakes is unnecessary, costly, because a lot of mistakes should never happen at all if we have more experiences. And the second, I think, when we have more experiences, I think the approach will be more opportunity-oriented. It's because there is a lot of interest and opportunity out there. The question is how can we make the Swedish entrepreneurship as a part of it and as a part of success in this market. I think this is something we really want to work together with all my colleagues in the innovation system in Sweden and also with many new partners in China.
Are you working? I'm asking this question to both of you. Can you hear me, Nanan?
Yes.
Good. So the question to both of you is sort of what concrete steps are, because in a sense you are both representing government in different capacities. Can you talk, is there any concrete steps that from that side is taking part now to address this with entrepreneurship and SME collaboration with China?
What we are aiming at, first of all, is to create those connections and partnerships with selected partners that have the maturity and competence to work with international startups in China in different cities. So we are really setting up a portfolio of different partners. And the other thing is that we are working to increase the understanding and about the Chinese market among the advisors in the Swedish ecosystems. So there's a maturity among the people that give advice to Swedish startups that they know about China, that they know about who the trusted partners are and what to think about before launching into China. So that's something that we can do right now, and we are also discussing how to be better at welcoming Chinese companies to Sweden.
Regarding the last part, sorry Nana, I will let you in soon, but with regarding to the last part, what are we doing in Sweden to sort of help Chinese SMEs and entrepreneurs establish here? Do we have any concrete programs, or is it in underway of developing?
They are under development.
Okay.
So yeah. But I think that we as well need to develop them together with Chinese entrepreneurs so that we understand the true needs. So we can't just develop a program and then expect some Chinese companies to come. We want to develop it in a co-creation, the Swedish co-creation model where we do things together, develop things in partnership.
Nanan, what do you want to add?
Yes, and I think it's a really new area that our office, as the Office of Science Innovation Embassy, we are developing that kind of practice. So I think if we ask what actually the Swedish entrepreneurs and companies what they are looking for in China, I think there are two things. One is the customers, is because they need their product to be tested in this market. And the second, actually, they also need a supporting system which can help them to be continuously innovative and competitive in this market. So that means actually we need to develop two kind of supporting systems. First one is that how can we, working together with the Swedish and the Chinese partners, try to find first customers and first investors in China, which is trusted partners, as Maria said. And the second, I think it's very important that the capacity for people who are supporting our entrepreneurs can also be developed. I mean, for example, on both sides, we have many good science parks and incubators here in Sweden, and we have many good science parks and incubators in China. But probably none of us are very good at how to work together to support our companies, which means that this internationalization process, everybody thinks is important, but how to make the practical work that to be useful, meaningful, and effective for our companies. I think the capacity building is not only about companies, and it's also about the supporting system at home and also with our China partners. I think these two things we need to do. And the third thing I think have been missing and have been asked a lot is the due diligence, is because there is a risk involved. So that means taking advantage of our presence here in China. We hope that we can help our Swedish companies to do a qualified due diligence. That means where we should go and who we can work with. At least we should have a preliminary start with that process.
How far is that now? Is it up and running right now that you can help companies that want to come over?
I think that this is part of the Business Sweden support that they have already. But what we are doing is that we are trying to strengthen this even more, this capacity. But of course it exists in different places. And our goal as well is to be the guide that helps you to find the right partners that can validate Chinese ideas in Sweden. And I think that this validation, as Nanan said, is really, really important, because since we have ideas that have been developed in so very different ecosystem, when you move them to a new market, it requires you to also look at the business idea, look at the value chain, look at your partners and see if you have to tweak it to fit into the new market. And I think this requires people that understands business. This requires incubators and accelerators that really understands business and entrepreneurship and understands the both market to help with this market fit.
So from your respective sort of positions, what you said, how to avoid mistakes for companies that want to go to China, particularly sort of entrepreneurs and SMEs. What can you at this point give some advice what they should or should not do to begin with?
Swedish startups
or scale-ups.
First of all, I don't think that you should be too small when you enter China. You need to make sure that you have your finance, that you have your business idea and some stability before going into that market. You also have to make sure that you have some good validated partners that can help you and guide you in this new ecosystem to validate the idea and to find the right partners and to find the right people to hire. So you should not believe that you could go there on your own, because there are too many people that say that they will help you, but there are too many people that don't have the skill to help you. And that was something that we understood and that we saw as well, that when you came to a city like Shanghai, for example, with 400 or 500 accelerators and incubators, how could you, when you come from Sweden, knew who to contact and who can help you? And I think take advice from people in Sweden that have really evaluated the system, that has done the due diligence on the support system in China.
Nanan?
I think first of all, I think it's like very often some very basic mistakes actually can be avoided quite easily. So at the same time, I think is that in terms of innovation and entrepreneurship, it is risk-taking in many cases. So that's why I think this co-creation process Marie mentioned is very important, is because sometimes there's no other way around by working together. Then we know what is right way, what is wrong way. So that's why I think we need a very straightforward and simple procedures for due diligence. At the same time, we do need to develop more sophisticated process. That means how to learn to do things right together. So I think that's something today is missing. So finally, I want to say that by listening to the presentations online from here Beijing, I have already realized that Marie and we made a huge mistake last year. Namely, we were in Shanghai and we were in Hangzhou, but we missed Haining in between totally. I'm very sorry about that.
So you have to go there now?
Yes, we do. We have to go back.
Next trip?
Yeah, next trip.
When you're out? So, but you talked about validated partners. I think that's very important. How do one make certain, what is the validation process for that? Who becomes validated in what you're talking about?
There's no, in Sweden, I think the difference between Sweden and China is probably that we are not that structured. We don't have a process from A to B and how you become validated. It's more that we see what happens. We follow up. We look at the cases that the companies that go to specific incubator, accelerator, or city, and we listen to them and take their advice and listen to their experience. Have this been good or not? And try to spread the words. So it's more by recommendation and learning. So I think that if you want to have a lot of great companies coming to your city from Sweden, then you have to treat the first one very well, and then the rest will come.
Treat the guest good. So I want to open up. We have time for open up for 1 or 2 questions. So if you want to ask a question to Marie or Nanan, please raise your hand, and we'll make certain there's a microphone coming out, and I will come out with it myself to begin with. So, was.
Yeah, thanks. So if you're like a Swedish Chinese virgin, as you have not been to China, but you're like China curious, then what are some of the common mistakes that you might want to avoid?
What do you say, Nanan?
I think, I think the very common mistakes, I think there's 3 things, like 3 examples. And I think first of all, I think it's the fitness mistake. That's basically maybe the idea the product fit into the Nordic context, but not the Chinese context. I think the second, I think, is the readiness mistake, is that probably it's just too early. Very often that for such a complex and huge market, sometimes it's not only the product, is that the company, the team is not ready. I think the third one, I think is a very typical example, is that, of course, the cultural differences are very important. We need to do things culture sensitive, but at the same time, we should not emphasize this. So very often, for example, that people in Sweden have a view on personal relationship and heavily relying on that. You have to have the personal connections and relationship in China to be able to do business. But sometimes that also made you very vulnerable when everything is built on the personal connections. So if you look at the most professional incubators and science parks, it's a very professional organization and practice. So that means all things has to be integrated in the formal process. So that's why my advice is that yes, the personal communication and the relationship is important, but that's not the only one. You cannot only rely on this so-called personal relationship to do the very sensitive and very important projects anymore. You need to be integrated in the formal process, and everything has to be done very transparently and very well organized. I think these are the 3 things we see very often in China as a mistake.
Yeah. Another thing that I heard as well, because it's not that I have a super long experience of China, but it is the speed, because everything moves so much faster in China. So if you're not prepared to work very, very fast once you enter China and take opportunity of this market, someone else will really take your idea and run with it, because they don't do it to be mean, they do it because you're too slow. So you have to be prepared to run and have the resources to run once you enter the market.
We can have one quick question and quick answer. So please, sir, a quick question.
Yes, I wondered, does China require Swedish companies that want to establish in China enter a joint company relationship with a Chinese company? And is there a better way of doing it by consulting Chinese companies or so forth?
So I think you have to answer that one, Nanan.
Okay.
Nanan, do you know the answer to that, or?
So, Magnus, I cannot hear very well from the audience. Could you say, could you give a
Okay, yes,
brief-
of course.
The question was about when a Swedish company wants to establish in China, they need to have a Chinese partner. Is there not a way to go around this, or is that still the case, that you need a Chinese partner?
I think this is something is being changed now. Is because I think the latest development is the new foreign investment law, which is just passed on these two sessions, the meetings in March. So that means basically one thing is that this kind of forced technology transfer and forced partnership should not happen in the future. So now we are in the very new phase to see the implementation of this new investment law. So I think in this case, as we also follow very closely, that's because it's very important for the Swedish companies to China that they can choose the collaboration mode they want when they invest and operate in China. So I think this something has caused a lot of problems, and it is on the way to change. And we follow the implementation of this very closely.
We also have a Secretary Chu will
刚才这位先生的问题啊，也许是很多瑞典人，包括欧洲人共同一个担心的一个问题。其实，在我们地方政府，随着我们外资投资整个放开和开放的进一步深化，投资的比例是你合作还是自己独资，其实已经不是问题。这个我们都已经全面放开。根据你自己企业的需要和安排来进行。你如果想和我们地方政府和地方企业合作的，我们也会给你做一些推荐。你独资的，我们也非常乐意和非常的高兴。在办理企业注册等等任何手续的过程中，像我们海宁，我们会有专门的政府工作人员跟你进行联系。你不要去跑任何部门。我们都会帮你所有的问题都帮你办好，只要你的签字，只要你的签名和提供相关的一些材料，我们一条站式的服务，我们中国话叫做保姆式的服务的方式，把你们这些完成。
Actually, that is a really important question. I do believe it's a critical question for all of the foreign companies, including those from Sweden who would like to get into China markets. Please allow me to clarify. The regulation in China has been changing tremendously, particularly for foreign investment law and the regulation. In the future, we will be opening up the overall investment environment, and you can choose on your own freedom which forms of collaboration you would like to commit. For example, if you want to find a partner in China, it is perfectly fine, and we can even help you to locate a local partner. If you would like to 100% invest on your own to set up your offices, it is perfectly welcomed as well, particularly has in Haining City. And I would like to make additional points regarding Haining. If as a startup company, you would like to establish your office here in Haining, our government officials will provide one step, that is what we call a babysitter services. You don't have to go to any governmental regulatory bodies yourself. We will have a dedicated local staff who will run all of the administration and the management work for you. We just need your signature and documentation ready. So that's the service we can provide for you.
Well, thank you for that clarification. And I think that was a good sort of end of this session. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Nanan. And bye-bye. See you next time. And as with all things in life, they are with reservation for changes. And according to the program, we will now have pitches by the Haining Day competition finalists, but we have sort of rearranged a little bit in the program. So next on will be a signing ceremony for some agreements. And then we'll have a short presentation, because if you're going to go to Haining, you need to travel there. So we'll have a presentation, also a short presentation from Air China, and where they have an offer for everybody that's here today. So please stay put. We're going to rearrange quickly on the stage. And then, now we do the first networking. Talk to the neighbor and exchange business cards. And then we'll be back in a few minutes. 2 minutes. Vi lyfter ner den här. Jag tror inte det. So okay, okay, please, can I have your attention, please? Hello, thank you, thank you. Then I would like to announce, as you can see, there's going to be a memorandum of Hello? Thank you. There's going to be, first of all, there's going to be a sign of a memorandum of understanding of strategic cooperation between the Chinese embassy in Sweden and the People's Government Haining. So first I would like to ask the two signees to come up, Mr. Xiang Donghan and Mr. Quan Chang. And then also, of course, the two witnesses, I'm coming to that, Mr. Gui, the ambassador, and Mr. Xu, the secretary. That would be witnesses of this signing. Thank you very much. And then we have the signing of 3. Okay. And please, the witnesses stay behind, because there's more signing. And then I would like to ask Mr. Chongguan Chen and Mr. Buikander to come up. Oh, they want to have a picture with you as well, so come up. You can be witness too, Marie. Så Buikander and Mr. Chongguan Chen. Du kan börja, fylla på här. And then we have Mr. Yun Wang and Dr. Yang Song. And then we have Mr. Guishang Shang, Mr. Chris Engström, and Dr. Julie Wang. So please. Ja. Mm. Jag vet, där tror jag. Yep, here. Here, there. För kort. Nu. Stå nu och ta kort på dem. Get together, and then there's a group photo. Take this. Andrea. Upp. Ja, lyfter upp här. Perfekt. En klicken. So, welcome back everybody. Well, now we're to the next part. And we're going to have Jonathan Sölve from Air China here in Sweden to... Yes, the floor is yours for the next 6 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Tack.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Jonathan and I'm here with my colleagues in the back representing Air China. And we're China's only flag carrier and a proud member of Star Alliance. So you guys all want to do business in China, so you need to get there somehow, right? So it's my job here to convince you why Air China is a great option for getting to China. Well, first of all, you can reach more than 110 destinations in China, Asia, even Australia, New Zealand with only one stop in Beijing. And with our direct flights from Stockholm to Beijing, you can also reach Shanghai easily, and we have 16 daily flights between Beijing and Shanghai, so if you miss one, you can always hop on the next one. And on top of that, you're able to depart from over 30 different Nordic cities, and this is including smaller cities like Bergen in Norway and Luleå up in the north. So it's just one connecting flight with SAS. And we also have something called through-checked luggage, where we're the only airline where if you transit in China, as shown at the bottom, if you're going from Luleå to Shanghai and stopping in Arlanda and Beijing, you only have to check your luggage in once. And you don't have to check it out in Beijing and check it in again like you would have to with any other airline. And on top of that, you're also able to collect points with any member card from Star Alliance. So that includes the SAS Euro bonus card. You can easily collect points even when you're flying with Air China. And what about our flights from the Nordics here? Well, we have daily flights between Stockholm and Beijing. And we're actually the only airline that flies directly that route. And for the past year, we've also been flying directly between Copenhagen and Beijing. And that's a flight that goes 4 times per week. So it's easy to get directly to Beijing from the Nordics. And if you have business in Shanghai or Shenzhen, Haining even, you can get to these cities with only one stop, either in Beijing or in Frankfurt. You can get a direct flight with us from there. And this is another interesting thing. If you're doing business in China, in Beijing, you can use the 144 visa-free transit. So that means if you're flying from country A to China and back to country B, you can stay in China without a visa, or in Beijing without a visa, for up to 144 hours, which is 6 days. Do your business and fly back. So you can use our flights to do this. You can fly directly from Stockholm to Beijing, stay up to 6 days, take a direct flight back to Copenhagen, and a short 1-hour flight from Copenhagen to Stockholm. This saves you the hassle of getting a visa, the time, and the money. And what about meals? Well, the past year we've also been serving not only Chinese dishes on our flights, but we actually have a Swedish company that prepares our meals too. So if you want Chinese options, Western options, we have it all. And also free alcoholic beverages for all our passengers in all classes, which is always appreciated. And if you're going to Shanghai, or Haining via Shanghai, we have a very interesting thing here. You see on the map, central Shanghai is circled here. And with any other airline, you'll be reaching Pudong International Airport, which is way out in the outskirts. Whereas Hongqiao, where you'll be reaching with us, is right next to the center. You have convenient metro connections if you're going within Shanghai. And an interesting thing we have here is we actually have free high-speed train services to all surrounding cities when you purchase Air China tickets. And of course, Haining is included there. And what else do we have? Well, for business class customers, we have something called pickup service, which means that you can arrive at the airport, someone's going to be standing there holding a sign with your name, and they'll transfer you free of charge anywhere in the city you're going to. And from Shanghai, we have free service to 11 different cities. We also have transit lounges in Beijing and Shanghai, and transfer hotels for people staying overnight. And today we have a few special offers for you guys who are here right now. First of all, we have the International Horticultural Exhibition in Beijing. And if you want, you can come collect a voucher at our stands in the back corner over there. And you can exchange that at our office for a free ticket to the exhibition in combination with an Air China ticket using our Stockholm-Beijing route. And what else do we have? We also have a promotion code, which means that you'll be able to enjoy an additional 8% discount on any purchase for a flight ticket from our website, www.airchina.se. And you can contact Haining Center, and they'll happily give you this code. So just talk to them, and you can access this code for anyone who wants to fly to China and do your business there. And if you have a certain amount of sales, you can even enjoy an Air China corporate agreement, which means that you'll enjoy significant discounts on Air China flights. And so how do you know if you're eligible for one of these agreements? Well, yet again, you can just come to the right corner over there, find me or one of my colleagues, and we'll have you fill in a form. Only takes 2 minutes, and we'll get back to you within a week, and we'll tell you if you're eligible for an agreement or not. So yeah, that was all from me, and please feel welcome to find me or one of my colleagues anytime during the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and it's time for the coffee break, and please be back here at 3:30, so we have a long break, a 40-minute break, so we'll be able to have a lot of networking, and it's outside there. And at 3:30, please be back, because then we start with pictures from the finalists in the Haining Day competition. Nummer ett. Nummer ett. Yes. Oh, there it goes. Please take your seat. There's a room here in the middle, so fill up here. Come on, forward, forward, don't be shy. There's more seats up here. Several seats here, several seats on this side. So, welcome back, and it's time for the second session, and we're going to start off with presentations of 3 of the finalists in the High Day competition 2019. They don't know yet who's going to be winner. In essence, all of them are winners because all the 6 finalists are invited to a trip to Haining in the fall to learn more about their landing program and what's going on in Haining. So, first of the finalists is Johanna Wollert-Melin, one of the co-founders of Trice Imaging.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to be here today in front of
And
this
3 minutes.
Chinese delegation and so many people from the Swedish government and amazing companies here today. So Trice is a cloud solution for medical imaging. It means that hospitals and clinics around the world use Tricify to store their medical images. It could be an ultrasound, MR, CT, or any type of radiology device. When we started Tricify in 2009, we actually have our 10 years birthday tomorrow. She's actually 10 years tomorrow. Our dream was to have the same type of brand catch as Intel inside, meaning Tricify inside. Our wish has been to be embedded in any type of imaging device. And our purpose is to provide quality of care for people, regardless of who they are and where they are, so they can get access to medical imaging diagnosis. And unfortunately, this is not the case today. 2/3 of the world's population doesn't have access to medical imaging. And medical imaging, I would say, is one of mankind's most important innovation. Because if you have a severe health issues, imaging is the way to do the diagnosis when it comes to severe health issues. Today, Tricify is launched in 40 countries. We're embedded in many medical imaging devices, and since the launch, we have handled around 100 million imaging exams in Tricify. So our company was founded in Sweden in 2009, and we do have offices in Stockholm, Del Mar, Munich, and Bangalore. We're a private-based company. We've been growing the last 3 years by 100% per year. And we're cash flow break-even, and this doesn't mean that if we go into China, that we wouldn't take in investment, because I think if we're going to go into China, it's going to take a lot of investment to take that market. And so far, we've been bringing in $16 million in funding. We do have a classical SaaS solution business model. It means that the clinics pay for what they use. They can either pay how many studies they do per year or per device. And it's an evergreen contract. It means that they sign up for a contract. They have the opportunity to quit the contract within 30 days. If they don't, it actually goes for another year. It's a rolling contract. We do have a big patent portfolio. We have 7 patents and 15 pending patents. It's very important for us to work with our patent portfolio to protect our technology. We do have around 500,000 users globally. 3,000 medical imaging devices are connected to our platform today. Our main markets today is North America, South America, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and we just 1.5 years ago launched with 7 distributors in Asia with our office in India. So why do clinics need to use Tricify? 10 seconds. Okay, today only 20% of the clinics store the data. Is a big risk to lose data. And today, do you imagine they're still using CDs and USBs and printouts? And of course, this has to be digital in the future. And Tricify, it takes only 20 minutes to get up and running on Tricify if you're a medium clinic around the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next company up is... let's say I'm going to open... Jag får inte till det här. Andreas, hur får jag upp bilden här? Det är någon klickning som jag inte gör. Det måste trycka där. Ja, det är så.
Giddy up.
Yes. So, Jeremiah Dutton representing Trifilon. So the next 3 minutes
Are mine.
are yours.
All right, thank you very much. As said, my name is Jeremiah Dutton. Obviously, I'm not Swedish, coming from Canada. But we're based, we're a Stockholm company working with biocomposites. What are biocomposites? It's anytime you take plastics and you reinforce it with natural fibers. Why is this important? Well, there's a few things that are happening. One, by 2050, a lot of researchers have estimated that there'll be actually more plastics in the ocean than fish. This is obviously a problem. Two, we have climate change, especially from vehicles. What we see there is both on the fossil fuel vehicles and also on the EVs. New lightweight materials are needed. What Trifilon does is we have the first biocomposite that's actually approved for exterior automotive. And the big thing is you don't need a whole bunch of special tooling or new devices. You just plug and play and you can chop your weight down by almost 25%. So that's really nice, especially if you have a EV and you want to get it to go a little bit further. Or you're running a big truck and you want to cut your operating costs. Also, it's recyclable, it works in standard equipment and all that nice thing. Proprietary technology. So today, just south of Stockholm in Nyköping, not Norrköping or Lidköping, but Nyköping, we have 4,000 tons of production capacity, and we're already shipping the vast majority of our material to China, in fact, for Swedish brands that have their production there. So it's not a question of if we're going to China, it's more of a question of when we're going to China. We have ongoing patent assessments both on our materials that we develop and also on the processes, because what we do is quite technical. We've built a platform essentially that is highly scalable, both here in Europe and also in other countries. So we're looking at utilizing long bast fiber, so very strong materials essentially, depending on the geographical location that we expand to. So for instance, in China it would be ma, which is hemp. If we were, for instance, in India, it might be jute or coconut. But we've developed a system so that we can use these different feedstocks. So this is both important from a scalability and also from a risk management. The other thing that we work on is, of course, ingredient branding. One of the main challenges that we see that brands have today is that they want to have more sustainable plastics, but they don't know the language around that. So we are, I heard the earlier speaker mentioning the Gore-Tex inside. We're essentially creating that also and providing brands with all the LCA data and the language that they need so that they can differentiate their product. We have a little bit of success. So last year we were actually nominated as a WWF Climate Solver for the potential to reduce 10 million tons of CO2 if we saw our material really get into automotive, and knock on wood, hopefully this September we'll already see the first application. 2017 we were nominated by Carnegie, a local investment firm. In 2016 we are actually one of the top in Nordic Clean Tech Open. Thanks.
Thank you very much, and it's time for our next presentation. And I need to get Andreas to teach me how to switch the slides. Nej, det gör inte det. Okej, där ja. Okej, bra. So, the next up for the 3 minutes is Lisa Thorén, working with and representing Performance Skate Europe. For the next 3 minutes, till I interrupt, the stage is yours.
Hi, it's an honor to be here. And I've been traveling pretty much to China the last 5 years and made some great friends. If you want to connect with me afterwards, I have WeChat, which Chinese people like. So Haining is actually kind of well known to us already in the action sports industry because you have the best wave for surfing. But now I'm going to talk about skateboarding. Skateboarding is happiness and freedom. And this is how the skateboards have looked for 30 years. This is with our innovation. Tip technology, but we actually have 5 patents already in the skateboard industry. So we're the guys that you want to partner up with in China. In China, you are actually the skateboard industry today because you make all the skateboards, but you don't have any innovation. So we want to marry you and come with all the skateboard innovations on a platter. Skateboarding is becoming part of the Olympic Games next year, so you can just imagine how the Chinese sport ministry now is thinking, how shall we beat the Americans? And we can help you. So Beckett Colon is the founder, my business partner, that's me. And my family, we have already built another company, Baby Bjorn, which is a strong brand in 50 countries and are very well connected. And we have a broad patent. I'm very proud of this because we actually got this certificate. I think we are one of the first one in Sweden to actually get a certificate on our patent, and that's a robotic system integrating vision into the manufacturing process. And I'll show you a video. It's just 1 minute, quickly. So here is a presentation about the milling. So our pattern is that you can actually see an irregular piece, and it's very broad, so it's outside skateboarding. We are only interested to keep it in skateboarding. You guys could actually buy it or license it from us to also use in furniture, or it could even be shipping or aerospace or automobile business. So our pattern is that the camera is actually able to see the irregular piece, and then with the robotic solutions you can make skateboards even in Haining. We don't need to be in Guangdong.
You have 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Okay, let's continue. So we are, of course, marketing through social media. WeChat, here is on Instagram. It's actually Tony Hawk, the most famous skateboarder in the world, who is showing one of our riders with tip technology deck. And I mean, that's the way you market nowadays. And it's quick for you to set this up. So we have a plan, so just contact me afterwards if you're interested to set up robotic production.
Thank you.
In Haining.
Thank you very much. With these presentations, I mean, they're short, they could talk for much longer, but we want to give you a taste of what's been up this morning. Now, I'm happy to introduce our next speaker. Her name is Bonnie Rupé. She's the founder and CEO of Bonzoon, and that was a company that was started in China by Bonnie and now is also established in Sweden. So please, Bonnie, join me on stage.
Vänta, det ser rätt bild igång då.
Vi ska sätta på den.
Funkar? Hör ni mig? Pekao! Pekao!
And clicker. So Bonnie, please.
Hi, my name is Bonnie. I'm going to speak about my experience in launching in China, and I thought I would give you like the truth, how it actually happened. But first I'm going to very briefly just talk about what Bonzoon is, what it's about, what we're doing. Pregnancy is the #1 killer of women. I know this because I was almost a victim myself. When I was pregnant with my second child, I had a complication that nearly killed me. And I had no idea that I was so close to dying. And I thought, with the wide use of smartphones, there's no reason for women not to have all information on their pregnancies. So I started a virtual midwife. And we help pregnant women understand when it's safe to stay home and when they should seek advice. And actually this problem, it wasn't just about me, because it's a massive problem. It's actually what happened to me preeclampsia. It kills 1 person a minute, which is crazy. So Bonsoon is here to stop millions of preventable deaths and disabilities. One of our unique features is our symptom checker, where you simply tap on the image where your symptom occur, and you can easily understand if what you experience is a sign of something serious or if it's a normal discomfort. And it's the only symptom checker in the world with pregnancy complication. Our latest feature is an IVF product that we sell to IVF clinics. And the big issue in IVF treatments is that women who go through IVF treatments drop off. They find the treatment so stressful that they cancel their treatment beforehand. So together with the pharmaceutical company Merck, we have launched an IVF app. Okay, so Bonsoon now we've gotten a massive well, we got a lot of positive PR, and it's going quite well. But I thought I should talk to you in the beginning how I started and why I started out in China. So I had never been to China before. I just felt that I want to start Bonsoon in a very big market. So I presented my idea to Karolinska Institute and the Swedish the Swedish Midwife Association, and I also, very important, got a planning grant from SIDA. So the big difference between Bonsoon and other pregnancy apps is that all our content is strictly evidence-based. It's written together with Karolinska and also Beida, Jöda and Fuda University partner with us in content creation. So people who say that you start in China, you need Guangxi, and I didn't know anyone in China, but because of my collaboration with SIDA, I think one of our most important partners is the Chinese government. So we've gotten numerous grants from Shanghai Civil Affairs Bureau, and we also work with the CDC. And then also, not only did we get the planning grant from SIDA, we also got Innovation Against Poverty. So I think for Bonsoon, it was so extremely important to get the backing from SIDA, because when I came to China and I was backed by SIDA, I could also get my first meetings set up by the Swedish government. So what I did when we launched our first app in China, the blood testing app, is that I went to my contact in the Swedish embassy and asked them if they could contact their contact in the Chinese government, the Beijing municipality, and ask them if the Beijing municipality could choose which hospital we should work with first. So the first hospital meeting we had, that meeting was actually set up by the Chinese government. And another, I think, extremely important thing is that I met a person I was introduced by SIDA to a person who had worked in China 30 years ago. He was then working at UNICEF, but in a SIDA-funded project. And 30 years ago, the project was about the maternal care in China. So he was now retired, but I traveled to his home and met him and his wife, and then I told him about this idea, and he said that it's brilliant, because when he worked at UNICEF, they had looked into the difficulties in maternal care in China, and saw that there's a big gap between the knowledge that exists and what's practiced at the hospitals. So with money from SIDA, I paid for the plane tickets for him and his wife. So they traveled with me to China, and he introduced me to his friends who had worked in that maternal care project in UNICEF 30 years ago. And now, 30 years later, most of them were still active in maternal care. One is now head of maternal care at UNICEF. One is president of the Chinese Preventive Medicine Association. One is working in the Chinese Midwife Association. Two of them are advisors to the Chinese government in public health issues. And so when I could gather all of them in one room and tell them about what we're doing, they immediately understood what Bonsun would mean, because they had worked with it. So they formed my first editorial board and is part of my network in China. So I think you shouldn't underestimate Guangxi, as it's called. However, I think since our work has a huge impact on maternal and child health, it actually helps. And we work closely with all Chinese health organizations, but also international health organizations like the WHO, who are door opener to other reliable partners like IOM or Gavi. And then we work with midwives associations and UNICEF. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about doing business in China. And people often ask me, like, why China? And the truth is, I wanted to be the first tech entrepreneur, the first Western tech entrepreneur to break the China code. And I thought it was really interesting because I didn't know anything about China, but my experience in China, it's like the Wild West. Everything happens really fast, and the business environment in China is really, really tough. And most of them have read this book. So it's, I think, doing business in China, it's a little bit like going to war. So what's the war about? Well, it's about money. And in my case, pregnant women. It's a very profitable target group because women develop purchasing habits twice in their lifetime, when they go to the universities and when they're pregnant. And the brands they choose, they stick with for life. And it's 22 million pregnant women in China every year, which means that it's over 100 million during 5 years. And a Chinese family spends 11% on their income on their child, which is why the market is worth 3 trillion. And it's growing with 17% every year. And it's said that right now there's 286 million maternal and infant families in China, which is it's a lot more than in Sweden, which is around 100,000 pregnant women every year. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start in China and I didn't start in Sweden. Okay, so one question that people ask me is like, how do you, I mean, Swedish people ask me, how did you find good people to work with in China? And like, how can you recruit reliable people? And the truth is, I have no idea. But I can tell you about how I have recruited the people I work with. So the first person I met the first person I hired in China is Yin Wei, and she was actually, or my friend's younger brother's Chinese teacher's girlfriend is Yin Wei. So when I went to China, we had dinner, just like social, because they thought that, yeah, maybe I needed someone to talk to, and she spoke very well English. And at the time, she was an analyst at Accenture, and she helped me a lot in the beginning, just as a friend. And then I found out that she was bored at Accenture, so I offered her a job, and I said, I can't pay you so much, and I can't even promise to always pay you, which is, sometimes as a startup, it's very, you never know if you can afford someone's salary or not. So I said that this is a very risky business, but I can promise you will never be bored. And she's still with me, and she's also a shareholder, and I consider her a family. And then yes, before I change the image, I'm going to talk to you how me and Yin Wei, how we tried to hire the second person in China. So what we did is we hired a Chinese HR company, and we put out ads, and we did a whole recruitment process. So we found 100 candidates, and then we invited them to an interview, because we wanted to find someone who could help us with marketing. And the first person to show up was 2 hours late. That was the first one. And I could talk for hours about that recruitment process, but it was insane. And we managed to find 4 people that we wanted to hire, and 3 of them tried to renegotiate their contract at the day when we were supposed to sign their contract, which as a Swede, that's like insane. You don't do that in Sweden. So we only actually hired one of them, and she was hit by a car on her first day at work. And so me and Yin Wei, we were devastated, because we had spent so much money on that recruitment, and I just felt like giving up. And then I'm going to switch to this image, because I've moved to China as a single mom, alone with my 2 kids. So one important person for me was my IE, and she only worked 50% of the time, and I had gotten to know her, and she was really smart, and she had good energy, and I could trust her. She had never ever tried to rip me off or something. So I asked her, yeah, sure, what do you do in the mornings before you start to work here? And actually she was cleaning in another family's house. So I said, well, how about you stop doing that, and then you work for my company in the morning instead? And she was really happy. So I recruited her, and the mother in that other family that she used to clean called me later and was really angry because I had stolen her IE. I don't care. Anyway, Yesher, on her first day at work, what she did, because she's a migrant, she comes from Anhui, and so what she did is that she went to hospital, and she started to talk to women who work close to the hospitals. So now Lisa is actually head of a marketing team that we have with over 30 people that works outside the hospital. So in China, a lot of our marketing work is offline. And what she's also doing is that she's talking about our app to the nurses. And we don't pay the nurses. They recommend our app because they like it. So that's one of my star recruitment, my cleaning lady. And I think that's how a lot of startup recruit people. And for me, when I find people, and that's not only in China, it's everywhere, I want to find people who are smart, who are intelligent, and you can find them like in all aspects of society, and people who have a good attitude. So I think attitude and intelligence, and in Sweden we have a word called värderingar. I'm not really sure how to translate that, but values, perhaps. How much time do I have left? 3 minutes. Okay, yeah. I don't have so much more to say. Okay, so my other superstar is Anish, and I met Anish on Instagram. He's my CTO. And the thing with Anish is that he started out in Nepal. So I have my full tech team in Nepal, in Kathmandu. And this is where I'm very happy in this image, but actually inside I'm also very, very worried, because the same day as I won Best Design in GMIC in Beijing, this happened in Kathmandu. There was an earthquake, and we had no connection with our personnel in Kathmandu. And this is something that you don't really consider when you outsource to other countries. At least I didn't consider this as a Swede, that, you know, Mother Earth is a risk too. So Anish is actually in Stockholm now. He was in Shanghai. He moved from Kathmandu to Shanghai. He was there with me for a while, but now since I'm in Stockholm, he has moved here too. My other rock star, she was the marketing director in Yaolan. And when we started in China, we were actually the first pregnancy app in China. And Yaolan at the time didn't have an app, so they wanted to acquire us. And at the time, I had no idea how to negotiate an acquisition in China, and I wasn't really ready to sell because we had just started. But later, when the owners of Yaolan had sold Yaolan, that's why they wanted to buy us, because they wanted to increase the valuation. Anyway, they sold Yaolan, so I could ask them, so which person would be the best marketing manager? And they said that we should hire Zhang Ji. And she was head of their app, and she built that to 800,000 downloads within a few months. And so she's really good. And now, well, we have a bigger team. So one of the Skype founders is our first product manager, which I'm really, really happy about, because he was the first product manager at Skype. So he already knows how to scale a company on or scale the tech on a global basis. So I'm really happy about this. And actually, me and Andreas, we met at a party 2003 in the balcony, and he said that they were just going to start phone calls over the internet. And I remember saying, like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. At the time, I was involved in my previous company, which was magazines. So I started a magazine for women who played golf, and he started Skype. And, you know, a few years on, I realized that, yeah, this tech is a lot more scalable than a paper magazine. Okay, so Bonsu now is a global company, but our major market is Sweden and China. And I think the big thing for us now is the IVF app. So this is my WeChat ID. And, well, if you want to talk to me about IVF, or if you want to, you know, if you're going to start in China and want some tips and suggestions, you know, just reach out. Because I had a lot of help when I started out, so I'm happy to give back.
Thank you very much, Bonnie. Thank you. We're going to take the next presentation with experiences of establishing a company in China. And welcome up on stage Mrs. Stefan Schörling, who's the founder of Hasta Group, and Dr. Jennifer Pang, who's the vice president for the same company.
här för att trycka fram?
Får klicka igen. Där ska jag se. Jag hittar inte. Jag tror jag musar för långt. Ja, det är rätt. Så, tack.
Ursäkta, du, är det här för att trycka fram? Den där eller vilken? Ja, okej. Okay. First of all, I would like to say that we are happy to be here.
首先，感谢这次机会，我们可以在这里和大家一起分享。
We are happy to meet here together with our Chinese friends, and we are also happy to meet a lot of new Swedish friends.
很高兴在这里既可以看到我们中国的朋友，也可以看到我们瑞典的朋友。
And we will talk a little bit about how we start up the company in China, and also why we came to China, and how we think it's possible to work in China.
那在这里，我们要分享一下我们一个瑞典公司在中国怎样发展的，为什么我们选择了在中国发展，还有怎样在中国发展。
And I'm coming here not alone. I'm coming together with Jennifer.
他不是一个人过来的，当然还有我来自中国的支持。
And I hope we can explain why we work together later on in the presentation.
当然，等一下在我们的展示中，我们也会讲一下我们是怎么样一起支持彼此的。
Everything has a start, and I also had a start in my career in my life.
所有的事情都有一个开始，当然他的事业也不例外。
I started to work with Atlas Copco, and I was a development engineer, having a lot of new projects and made a lot of developments.
他的第一份工作是 Atlas Copco 的设计师，是一个研发工程师。
I'm sometimes saying that I'm coming from high tech, and I enter into design and high tech.
他是从高科技开始的，然后现在回归到设计和高科技。
And what I mean of design could be what you see here, and here you also see the start of our company.
因为说到设计，从这个画面上可以看到，这是我们公司开始的时候。
The picture is not 100 years old, but nearly 40 years old.
虽然这张图片没有100年之久，但是也是马上就40年了。
So the start was in this small factory, and the reason why I started was because I made a bid at an auction.
OK， 他说这一个照片，是最开始我们公司发源的地方。那为什么在这个工厂呢？是一个铁匠铺一样的，是因为他在一场拍卖中拍得了这个铁匠铺。
And as you know, if you do something, and sometimes you do something quick, you need to take responsibility for what you are doing. And I also did it, and I started a company because I bought this place.
他说，就像刚才别人讲到的，在中国做什么事情要很快，讲究效率，讲究速度。无论你选择做什么，要飞快的，然后做出决定。那他这个开始这个生意，是因为他买了这家铁匠铺，所以就马上开始了这个生意。
The product in the middle, you can see it's some kind of design, and it looks not so much.
那中间这张图片呢，是一种设计，蛮简单的自剪的设计。
But it was good enough for our competitors or colleagues on the market to be able to drive in limousines in the United States and live a luxury life.
当然，这个自检的设计是很多公司抄袭的一个至宝。当时，然后抄袭这个产品的公司已经发展得很好，并且开着很豪华的豪车，在世界的某些地方享受生活。
They had a platform at that time to use this kind of product and develop it.
为什么呢？因为那个时候他们有更好的平台来发展这个产品。
And the cooperation we have here today gives, according to me, a platform to develop. So if you have an idea, get started.
那今天这一场海宁日的活动，就是给了我们这么一个平台。如果有些公司也想抓住这种平台，抓住这种机会，那么说像我们一样就可以发展。
Okay. Everything has a history, and it takes some time. And after some time of working in Sweden, I could discover that we come to an end. It was not possible to develop anymore.
所有的事情都有一个发展延续的过程。在我们公司在瑞典发展了几年以后，我们就发现我们到了一个平台期，然后我们没有办法在瑞典这个平台上继续发展我们的生意。
That was not because Sweden is bad. It was because the cost situation and the industrial infrastructure was not prepared for the kind of product we are working with.
当然，大家不要误会，在瑞典不能发展得更好，不是代表瑞典很坏、瑞典不好，仅仅是因为瑞典的成本和瑞典的一些产业结构不适合我们这种产品了。
So for us it was needed to make a change, and the change was not to change the strategy. We'd like to continue to make development, but we could see that we need to go somewhere, and this somewhere was China.
是像这种情况下，那我们只能变则通，所以说要改变我们的策略。在改变的时候，我们就发现了一个最好的地方，就是中国。
And the way in China is in cooperation. It means that you need to work together. You need to work together with friends. You need to build relationship. And the first relation I met in China was Jennifer.
他说来中国发展当然是团队合作，然后当然他当时也发现了他的合作伙伴就是 Jennifer 我。
We had a fight because of a warranty claim, and Jennifer was fighting with me, and I understood that this lady is strong enough to be someone to work with.
我们认识的时候是因为一场质量上的纠纷，然后我们是为双方不同的立场吵得非常厉害。就是这次争吵让他觉得，这个人立场够坚定，应该给我工作，这是缘起。
And we also made an agreement. She liked to continue her education, and I like to find a way to set up a business in China. So we agreed help each other.
那个时候正好有一个机缘巧合的地方，就是我希望在学历上继续深造，他希望在中国搭建一个公司、一个平台，所以当时我们就在这种背景下合作了。
For was it one and a half year ago or this one? 2 years ago. For 2 years ago, anyhow, we was happy because this with education was extended, and here we were in Nice and. Connection with the doctor examination.
OK， 虽然开始是这样准备的，但是我是2年前才拿到我的博士学位的。这是当时我毕业的时候，我们一起，也算是他在中国建了工厂，我拿到了我的学历。
And we like to give our comments about how the important things to be successful.
那我们在这里也想分享一下通向成功的一些必要条件。
And the first thing is listening.
倾听。
If you go to China and you don't know how to listen, and with the listen you learn, then I think you have no chance. You cannot be the master and go to China. You need to listen and you need to find the way together with people.
他说来中国发展其实一个最主要的条件就是要倾听，通过倾听来学习。不要你说我是硕士，我是专家，我就来了，其实那样是行不通的。
And then you also need to figure out the trust. If you try to check and to find a way, are you doing right, and so on, you have no chance. Because the Chinese people really understand right away if you trust them or not.
对，另外一个更重要的点是信任。中国人特别敏感，你是信任他还是不信任他，他一下就感觉得出来。
And you know, in China you cannot read, you cannot write, you cannot do anything. So you need to have people that support you.
来到中国，作为一个瑞典人，您看不懂、听不懂，您能做的就只有相信中国人。
I like also to say to develop, China is one of the most interesting and fun place to do development.
那讲到研发和发展，那根据他的经验，中国是最有意思的一个地方，也是最有趣的，也最有潜力来研发和发展的一个地方。
Because what you have around you is a lot of infrastructure with all resourcing. It's just to find a way to cooperate with them.
因为在中国，所有的资源都是成熟的，你只要找到合适的机会和他们合作，然后就一定可以取得你想要的一切资源。
And the last thing, never, never give up.
最后一点，相信大家都知道，永不放弃。
It's not always easy.
因为凡事都很难，没有什么容易的，所以说永不放弃。
A little bit what we have done is that here is the first factory. After some years in a rented place, we build up this factory.
那这是我们在中国的第一个自己的工厂。然后最开始的几年，我们是租赁别人的厂房的，这是我们在中国的第一个工厂。
And I can tell you, when we moved in January 2009, we didn't have any order. We only have 100 people working for us, but no order, because we have had a Lehman Brothers in the autumn before.
2009年1月份，我们自己的厂房，然后可以搬入使用了。投入使用的时候，竟然是那个雷蒙兄弟破产的时候，经济危机，所以我们什么订单都没有，100-200工人。
Now we are a happy team, and we have moved out from that factory, and we have moved into another factory, which is on the Haining side.
但是所有的事情都有解决方案。那我们有很好的团队，现在我们已经有第2个工厂，然后在海宁这个地方。
And here we met the welcome from the Haining government.
海宁政府非常欢迎我们，我们也很感激。
And from beginning we have had a creative and good discussion, which has ended up in that we will make a new investment now in Haining.
然后经过比较积极的配合和合作，那我们现在已经决定了要投第2个工厂，自己建第2个厂房。
A part of our company is that we work with new development, and that means that during the years we have made the registration of a number of IP patents and design patents.
我们有100多项自己的专利。
Here you can see a little bit of our goals. I don't.
这里有一些我们的目标，当然因为有中英文的，也不需要一一的来复述了。
Here you can see one level of our factory in Haining, what we have now.
这是我们现在在海宁的工厂，其中的1层。
I don't know whether we explain so much what we have done, but the company has been developed to be a window covering fashion industry.
那我们还没有讲我们的产品，我们是做窗饰、窗帘和智能家居的。
Some part of our business is to provide all the hotels in China with curtains and window blinds and so on.
那这里有一些案例，我们的产品涉及到各个行业和各个领域，然后酒店、医院、学校、办公大楼。
And we also are proud because we, together with a partner in China, has developed, I think, the biggest internet sales company for our products on Chinese market.
我们的产品在网店上，在中国最大的平台天猫上是全网第1。
Here you can see one picture showing a little bit the family life you should have, and I think it's also a must that you need to be together with people. You need to keep going, you need to always developing, and you need to stay together.
是的，刚才也有人说过了，就是像家人一样的感觉。是的，这张图片呢也看出来，我们也是和我们的团队像家人一样的坚持不懈，携手共进。
People like to see a future, then they are happy, then they continue, then they give all the efforts they have.
大家共创未来，一起协同并进。
Our next step, and one reason why it is interesting for us to be here, and I also think that we can be something that can be of interest for some of you.
今天我们来参加会议，不是因为刚才展示的前边的内容，是因为我们的下一步。
We will build up a new place that gives some space for further development.
这个就是我们和海宁政府会议和合作的结果，这是我们的下一个工厂。
In this place, we will try to be a support for companies that like to go to China, like to come to a place where they can develop the business.
然后在我们这一个工厂里，我们还可以帮助和支持一些瑞典的企业，想来中国投资、有意来中国投资发展的，我们可以提供一些支持。
Together with the Haining government, we are in the high-tech zone in Haining, and from there we will offer a space for everybody with the good ideas, good ambitions to develop.
那当然，全部的一切都是海宁政府的支持。在海宁政府的支持下，我们也欢迎所有的有志向、有意义，然后并且项目比较好的、比较有潜力的一些项目，可以来这边试营发展。
If some of you have some question about things, we are here tonight, and you're more than welcome to come up with question.
如果大家有什么问题的话，今天的晚宴我们也是参加的，大家可以再来联系他，然后我们给更多的、更细节的解释。
Here you can see where we are located in the layout from Haining government.
这个就是那个高新区的一个重点打造的一个科技园，然后箭头指向的是我们的项目。
And with these words, we like to say thank you. We are happy to be here, and I hope you have picked up some interesting points of what we have done in our 14-15 years history in China.
再次感谢大家倾听，再次感谢给我们这个机会，谢谢大家。
I came in myself, and I met Jennifer, and then together we have developed this kind of thing.
他一个人来中国，然后遇到了一个中国人，然后一起开始创造了这个项目。
We have made profit all years except the first year, and I think this is possible for you to do too.
然后我们每一年都是盈利的，除了创业的第一年，因为我们是在那一年的最后一天注册的公司。然后所以说，如果我们可以，你们也可以。
So, thank you very much.
再次感谢。
Hold on. I want one question to you, Stefan, for you. So, what would be the 3 most important advice besides the one you showed there more in detail you would give, given that you have more than 12 years, almost 13 years experience now with doing business in China, for someone new that wants to go there and start their business or bring part of their business from Sweden there? Step 1, step 2, step 3.
Yeah, I think you have the first
besides
one.
Those.
Besides those. Oh, what is important beside those? Yeah, I mean, first of all, there is some other things. You need to like to be and adapt yourself a little bit. You cannot expect that China adapt China to you. You need to adapt yourself to China. That is one thing you need to be prepared to.
然后这里讲到一个入乡随俗的问题，他说到，其实有的时候你要改变一下你自己，然后来适应一下中国的文化，不可能让中国改变整个中国文化来适应你个人的发展，这一点也是来投资的人要小心的。
And the second?
The second one. Oh. You have some help down there.
Get some help.
Yeah. I mean, in connection with this listen and learn, it means that if you listen and learn and listen to people and learn from them, they also learn from you, and then you can get support. Because if you don't have support, you are nothing. If people turn your back, it's totally empty, and you are far, far away from home.
That's also trust.
That's trust. That everything comes together with these words.
Yeah, perfect.
And,
投入要全身心的投入，包括信任，否则的话，你一转身，然后就一无所有。然后不要想着蜻蜓点水一样的来尝试，全身心的投入，一定会得到回报。
I can tell you the reason why we set up this system in the connection with this new place is because I also have in mind what when I was young. And what I like to develop something. That was my dream. Yeah. That was my dream anyhow. And what I can see, if you have a good idea, if you are smart and you like to work hard, for sure you need a foot in China as well as in Sweden to get some development, to get something done. So therefore I say, take the chance, go there and make it, because you can do it.
他说，当他年轻的时候，他就想了，如果你真的想做成什么事，那么说一定要一只脚踏上中国，另外一只脚在瑞典，否则的话是不可能的。
But the work starts in the morning, and it's finished after the dinner at 10 o'clock, and then you go to sleep, and then you go again. And then you have 7 days a week. You don't have 5 days.
OK， 然后我们讲就是全天24小时工作，每周工作7天。
Thank you.
谢谢。
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're moving on in the program, and there's also there's several areas that is of interest both for Swedish companies, but also in sort of the context of both China and particular Haining, and one is in the energy, new clean tech area, and also innovation at large. So the next part of the program, before we move into a few more pitches, is to learn a little bit more, a brief overview what the Swedish Energy Agency can support Swedish companies with if they want to go international, also more particularly into China, and the same with Vinnova, the Swedish government agency for innovation. So first up is Paul Westin from the Energy Agency, and we're going to open to give us a brief presentation here, and you have a clicker there, and welcome, Paul.
Thank you, Magnus. It's an honor to be here, of course, and very interesting presentations today. So I represent the Swedish Energy Agency, or Energimyndigheten in Swedish, and I will try to give an overview of our internationalization activities, of course with a special focus on what we do in China. Well, first of all, I just want to clarify it's a government authority. We sort under the newly established Ministry for Infrastructure, 400 employees plus about 1.6 billion Swedish kronor in research, development and internationalization money, actually, which is, this amount is approximately doubled by private sector co-financing every year. And over a period of more than 40 years, Sweden has had an energy R&D program, so that is sort of a very important part in also the quite green and clean energy system that we have today. Since a few years back, we have been part of the government's concerted effort of trying to be better at coordinating all the government authorities under the umbrella of Team Sweden. And there is also an export strategy where the Swedish Energy Agency has selected 6 countries out of the 26 that are prioritized by the government. Of course, China is one of the prioritized also for us. So we take part in the Team Sweden China, in Team Sweden India. We work on Team Sweden Clean Tech, Team Sweden Energy, of course, where we are a central actor, and Team Sweden Invest. And for China, I think we would cooperate, of course, a lot with Business Sweden, the Trade and Invest Council that is already in China, but also IVL, the Swedish Environmental Research Institute, is in China. Vinnova is there, so I hope we can work together with Vinnova as well. So our 6 priorities. Germany is the biggest trading partner of Sweden, and we were actually the partner in the Hannover Messe. Sweden was the partner this year. We also had an energy corner. I think continuously that's also a good place for meeting up between other countries that go to that Messe. Just briefly want to mention in India we have had an accelerator program going for maybe 5-6 years for small and medium-sized companies. So we have introduced about 40 to 45 companies there. I have myself been stationed in Indonesia and working with similar issues a couple of years. In China, we now have a sent-out person, Mr. Magnus Karnvall, who is the colleague of Nannan at the Swedish embassy. He's counselor for energy there. And you saw that it plopped up 3 other countries now, the UK, the US and China for our clean tech hubs, which is also directed towards innovative small and medium-sized companies that seek scaling up or also attract investors. In this case, we also work together with Business Sweden and give them a location. So in China, that location is in Shanghai. For the UK, we have had something called the Heat Networks program for a couple of years back, but now I'm in charge of heating and cooling and exploring how we can assist the supply chain in Sweden of going abroad. The heating and cooling market in Sweden is pretty mature, so the supply chain needs to scale up and go international. And from this year onwards, we are exploring those possibilities more further in China. I will come back to that as well. So now we have broadened this program to more markets. Smart City Sweden is also a big platform here in Sweden, where the Energy Agency is the coordinating party together with other authorities. And it's a visiting platform where I believe that we have had most visitors from China coming in here to Sweden to make study visits around the country. So it's coordinated by us, and IVL, the Swedish Environmental Research Institute, is the performing party. And we have 6 regional nodes in Sweden. And Smart City in Sweden would be not only digitalization, but of course the whole sustainable urban environment with wastewater treatment and energy supply, etc. I will skip that, the last 3, I think. So in addition to market-oriented initiatives, we also have some thematic initiatives. One is digitalization, which is coordinated by sustainable innovation. One is sustainable healthcare, which is held together by TEM in the south of Sweden. That was interesting, referring to the previous presentation, I think. We also have a thematic area for internationalization when it comes to bioenergy, which is coordinated by the Swedish Research Institute RISE. And we're looking to establish a couple of new ones, one for the transport sector, or rather the supply chain to the vehicle industry. And myself, I'm looking into if we can do something also for the waste management sector. So that could also, the last 2 are definitely interesting for the Chinese market, I think. Clean tech hubs you can visit, and I just wanted to show the web page. It's the Shanghai hub, so it's not so far from Haining. Yeah? District heating and cooling, we have, Sweden has had activities in district heating and cooling for quite a long time, and have had events in all those cities. And now, as I mentioned, we are going to make a new effort. And I expect that we will be there. This is also done together with Business Sweden, but also with the Swedish SWE Heat and Cooling Industry Organization. And I expect that we will try to organize something in the middle of September, end of September, because the International Energy Agency District Heating and Cooling Program is also going to have its next meeting in Beijing in the end of September. So I look forward to also have the opportunity to come to China again for the second time. For my case, I was there in 1997, so I expect a lot of things have happened since then. All right, that was a brief overview, and please contact me if you need more information, and I will be happy to introduce you to colleagues and Magnus Karnvall, our Councillor of Energy in Beijing.
One quick question. What kind of, just for 1 minute, what kind of direct support or can you give to companies that want to sort of explore these opportunities?
So basically, we give some financial support in the way that we purchase services from Business Sweden, so that it is free for the companies. That's one support. We will look into also having more calls for proposals on demos, for example. There are also a lot, I mean, we have also a lot of R&D programs that could be interesting, but I didn't pick them up here. Okay. Travel grants for those countries where we have had the accelerator programs. Maybe we will make an accelerator program also for China. So it's that type of support. It's not a huge amount of money, but the support is in-kind support, hours from Business Sweden, but also opening doors. And get access to vetting processes and due diligence and market research, etc.
Okay, and thank you. And I think, yes, thank you. And note that, and all you can contact us and to get Paul's contact information if you need to get in touch with the energy agencies. Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you.
Next up is Johanna Bokvist. She's a program manager at Vinnova and working with internationalization, their internationalization program. And we're going to open up your presentation. So the floor is yours.
Thank you.
And here's the clicker.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Johanna Bokvist, and I work at Vinnova, Sweden's innovation agency. And I'm quickly going to tell you why we exist and what we do. There we go. So, Vinnova is also a government agency. We were founded in 2001, and we are under the Ministry of Enterprise and Innovation. Vinnova is tasked with promoting sustainable growth by funding needs-driven research and development of effective innovation systems. That means we work every day by trying to make the world a better place, but also trying to make Sweden a more attractive country for investments and for entrepreneurs. And we do this by projects. We have 5 priority areas that have been identified by the Swedish government as important, and these are the platforms that all our collaborations and programs are based around. And they are smart cities, next generation travel and transport, circular and bio-based economy, life science, and connected industry and new materials. In our everyday work, we are acutely aware that there are new complexities in today's society, such as climate change, demographic change, growing inequalities, and this all requires new ways of working and thinking when it comes to innovation. We work actively with the Agenda 2030 goals, which we believe are crucial for solving the world's largest problems. And we also actively encourage all our projects to work with this. So most of our funds are allocated through open calls, in which companies, academia, research institutions, public sector, and NGOs and other organizations can apply for funding. And we like to see a broad collaboration between these different actors and consortia of many different stakeholders. In 2018, we had over 4,000 active projects ongoing, and 70% of these were SMEs. And we funded, or we allocated funds of over 3 billion Swedish crowns. Currently, we have an open call, a collaboration between China and MOST. The focus is research, development, and innovation projects in the field of life science, traffic safety, and applied ICT. And the applicants on both the Chinese and the Swedish sides needs to be a company in cooperation with academia or the public sector. The total budget for this is on the Swedish side 26 million Swedish crowns and on the Chinese side 20 million RMB. If you want to learn more about this, please have a look at our webpage, and there is also a link to the MOST call there. Other ongoing activities relating to China, except the open call, is that we have an information day on the 12th of June about our China activities. And we have a planned delegation trip, potentially in November, to Shanghai and Shenzhen. And the purpose of this trip is for Swedish and Chinese actors to find each other, initiate collaboration so that they can apply for the call next year in 2020. And please reach out to me. My contact details are not on here, but you can do it through Esprit if you have further questions about this, and I'll be happy to answer those. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So hold on. Just one quick question. So on June 12th, what can people expect that come to that information meeting?
It will be a few different speakers talking about doing business in China. We will talk about our call and our plans for next year. And we will also give information about the delegation trip where companies can apply for travel grants to join us on this trip.
Okay, great. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we're going to have a little quick couple of Q&As here. I'm going to ask Mr. Ulf Borbos, who is a project manager for international project at CISP, the Swedish, what's called the Swedish Incubator and Science Parks.
Yeah, but a little bit Swedish Incubator and Science Parks.
Yeah. CISP, yeah. But that's what I said. So, Bo, coming back to what we talked about earlier this morning, or earlier after lunch with Nanna and Marie, the role of incubators and science parks in the collaboration with Sweden and China. Could you, with a few sentences, tell what you are doing in that area?
Well, Swedish Incubator and Science Parks has 65 innovation environments here in Sweden. We have something like 5,000 companies and something like 72,000 brilliant minds working with innovation. So the deal flow innovation is quite interesting from our environments. One of the things we're working with the Swedish government is in fact to improve the efficiency on how we work with the Chinese innovation system. They mentioned some of these things. For instance, they mentioned how we can exchange knowledge between science parks and incubators between our countries. These are things that we are having deeply discussions with right now with Nanan and the Energy and Innovation Ministry here in Sweden. So we hope that we're going to find those key words or those key factors that will make our innovation system more efficient. Because we want to help all the SMEs that want to go to the Chinese market in a more efficient way. We do a lot of visits to China with companies, but sometimes our companies maybe are not as well prepared as they should be. And from our perspective, who are supposed to be like an intermediate organization to help these companies, we need to improve our performance here. So it's also an improvement from our side. So that's what we are going to do. I also have been in Haining, so I know they are very supporting for the SME parts. So I know quite a lot about them. And I was invited by some Chinese friends to go there. So if you compare other Chinese cities, one of the advantages with this city, if I compare them, because I think I've been to 20, 30 something cities in these different parts of China. This is a city where it's very close between the government and the company support. You can really feel that they are trying to help you as an individual. If you are an entrepreneur, they know what your needs are, so they can really support you. So I'm quite impressed by their presentation when I was there.
So coming back to what, that's really nice to hear. Also, coming back to what you said about when can we expect to see some concrete operations coming online or on the ground for what you are working with Nanan and these ministries with?
I think this is a process that has a governmental speed. That means that we will probably have something up and running in next year.
Okay.
So that's fast. But I think the team working with this development is very positive. So they really want to do something. And I also feel that we have discussions with Ministry of Science and Technology on the governmental level. We also have a discussion with an organization called Torch, which is the similar organization to CISP, which is handling the science parks and incubators in China. Torch.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
very good discussion, I would say.
Great. Well, with that, thank you very much, Ulf, for joining us.
Nice to be here. Thanks.
Thank you, Ulf. So now we're going to hear from the last 3 companies participating in the Heining Day competition. And first up is Bo Hammarlund.
Okay.
From representing Epiluvac. The next 3 minutes
all right,
on
this
stage.
is already on.
Yes.
All right.
Is for you.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Epiluvac, and we make something which is called chemical vapor deposition reactors. That is to make semiconductor material, the latest and greatest semiconductor material, wide bandgap material for electrical vehicles and for power electronics. So the company was founded 2014 in Lund, and the guys have years of experience, more than 30 years of experience building CVD equipment from the past. All types of equipment for graphene, for very high temperature reactors and high vacuum. And Epiluvac also have representatives in China. We already sold reactors in China, and we're also active in Japan, Korea, and United States. My background is a parallel entrepreneur. I had about 4 companies in silicon carbide. So I'm not just Epiluvac, but also Ascatron, which some of you are going to look at tomorrow. And another company is Sensic for gas sensors. Transic is already sold. It started 2005 to make transistors for electrical vehicles. So here you can see the tremendous growth of gallium nitride and silicon carbide looks just about the same. Within the next 4 years, they anticipate that the growth is going to be 600 to 1,000%. And why? Well, because you have silicon carbide transistors all over in the electrical vehicle, and you have gallium nitride to charge the car and also to drive the car. Also, when you have the electricity coming from nuclear power plants or hydropower plants or coal power plants, you got to have a distribution systems where you have silicon carbide transistors all over in all the transformers. You go from 400 kilovolts down to 110 or 220 for households and data centers. We also have an intelligent electrical power microgrid where you can take the energy from the solar panels, and you need to convert it to go out on the grid or to use it for AC equipment. On wind power plants, you need to reshape the electrical energy to get it out on the grid. Here is actually the first material that we can grow in a reactor. It's a starting material, silicon carbide, which you then slice and you get wafers, and we grow the epitaxy on top of the wafers, the structure for the high power transistors, and you make components out of them, like a company like Ascatron make the component, or build modules for really high power transformers. So we actually have already mature reactors which we offer to customers. We have the competitive killer. It's a new reactor that can handle the next generation of material for silicon carbide and gallium nitride. And also we have equipment suitable for mass production, actually. So we estimate the available market for more than 200 million euro every year from 2022. And yeah, we focus on the wide bandgap reactors, aim for leadership in terms of technical performance and innovation for improved uniformity and yield.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bo. And then moving on to the fifth competitor in the finalist. Please welcome, join me on the stage, Anton Fast, representing Ofina. Tror du rätt? 38 bil, ja. The next 3 minutes are yours.
Awesome, perfect. Can you hear me, guys? Cool. Hi, my name is Anton Fast. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Fina. When we started Fina, this week, quick recap. When we started Fina, we decided to do the Porsche for horseback riders. And so what is a Porsche? What is the definition here? It's a beautiful and practical product. It's built for volumes and it's made for profit. It is desired by everyone and purchased by the high-end customers. It is somewhere in between a highly functional equipment and a piece of jewelry. And we did this without ever been on a horse. So this is the product, the Ofina S, the world's first magnetic safety stirrup. I will just mark it out for you guys as well, so you can see it on the screen. So basically, it's what the rider places their feet on when they're riding. The stirrup has a patent-pending smart attachment system, which makes the installation process simpler and easier than ever before, which is loved by the riders. It also has a completely open design, which makes this the safest stirrup on the market. It has a built-in advanced magnetic system, which is used together with our magnetic insole. You simply take the insole, you place it in your riding boot, and you're good to go. And you have better control and grip than ever before on a horse. And then we took all these functions and we built it into a very sleek design. With this said, today we have managed to produce and deliver the most exclusive series-produced stirrup in the world. This is what our brand has become, a premium equestrian brand. Within a couple of months, we're going to release our new products. Take the product from one product company brand into a more versatile lifestyle equestrian brand for all the riders in the world. We are building the brand. In order to get there, we need the best experts in the world for high-tech fashion and production. And that's where we see Heining as a very interested partner. I think we have 5 to 10 seconds left, so we can just embrace some pictures from Ofina. So this is basically the lifestyle brand we are building today. With that said, I thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we are in the sixth and final finalist. Is Harris Hadic from representing Byte Motion.
Yes.
So the next 3 minutes on stage belongs to you.
Okay, since I'm the last, I'll try to be as short as possible, not to take too much of your time. I've seen one good presentation today, very interesting, HD4U. In a way, what I represent is a company which is, we want to build stuff. We want to change the world. So we basically stretch robot integration boundaries. What does it mean? Robotic today is very traditional. We want to make it easy to use, make the robots leave the factories, or basically make them very, very simple to program, give them eyes, give them senses, etc. So what is our vision? We started with a gaming in a way. I want to bring all the technology that was created in 10 last years and implement it towards sensors, AI, machine learning, and machine vision. You can say, okay, there are big players that want to do it. Yeah, but they are too slow. And they have customers and they have everything that they have to maintain, etc. We don't. We are basically free spirits that just want to do stuff. So we joined Synerleaf, which is ABB innovation, let's say, platform. Built our first product there. Also joined the Create NVIDIA Inception program, fine. But then we basically were recognized by Trolltunga Robotics, which is basically Norway. They are the biggest robot integrator. They recognize us. They don't go only to ABB to ask for technology. They now come to us because we give them very, very fast and interesting solutions that they would, on the other hand, have to wait for a year, maybe 2 years. So in our short life, we have already created 2 products. One of them is Exobot. I would love to show the movie, but as I said, let's try to be short. You can find it on YouTube if you search for the Byte Motion. But we are the only product that is in ABB Customer Experience Center, which is not ABB product, which basically puts us a little bit on a map. And second thing is the Ocellus. It's a modern-based robot integration platform. Yes, vision systems, they exist, but not the one that the integrator can practically plug and play. So we want to listen what the problems are, we want to solve them, and we want to solve them in the best possible way. So that's what we are. This is just a picture from Telenor 5G event that was last week in Oslo. And on this IoT event, our product was basically together with ABB. So they, in order to present something cool for the 5G, they have to use somebody small, somebody fast, somebody basically who wants to make stuff. So that's about us, and thank you for listening. I'll not show the video.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Now they will have to the finalists have to live in suspense for a few more minutes, because I want to ask to come up on stage a representative from last year's competition, Dr. Yang Song, representing Bioprocess Control. That was, your company was the winner last year.
Yes.
So what has happened since August 28 last year when your company won the competition until now?
Yes, what has happened before January this year, I don't know exactly, but we won the prize, and our CEO went to Haining and had a meeting with the government and discussing about how to set up a company, since we have seen that the market in China is growing drastically, and we want to also involve our production supply chain there, and also marketing. So from the beginning of this year, I was recruited to work on Haining project, and I think now I'm a sales and business development manager. But I think from July I will be at the Haining site and start to be a general manager there.
Yeah, because you could see you were signing an agreement here earlier today, so that's good news then.
Yeah, thanks.
So you're starting July, setting up operations in Haining?
Yes, we hope so. Actually, I have been in Haining in February, March, and we had a meeting with the government for 3 days, and it was extremely efficient, I would say. I didn't expect this. It was so efficient. The first meeting we had in the government, we had finance, we had the law, we had bank, all the representatives in the same office. So clear agenda and one-step solution. It's like Ms. Zhu introduced, it's a babysitting service. And I felt,
it works.
Yes, I was surprised, and it works. And we are now ongoing for the registration. All the company structure is set up, and ready to go.
Even though you weren't there for the fall, when Dr. Jing Liu, that was here, the CEO was here in the competition, what would your advice be to now the finalists? Because how it is now that all the 6 finalists will be invited to go to Haining in the fall, and what would your advice to them to think about when they go there?
Well, I think to Haining, you have two purposes at least. I think one is to get your deal done. Have an office as soon, pick a place for your office as soon as possible because it's quite fancy buildings and yeah, people are fighting for it. And the other is you can walk around Haining because there are so many companies like in Shanghai, in the surrounding areas. So I'm sure that you will find probably your supply or your customer even, potential customers or your partners around. I think Haining is a central of a very important industry area. That's my advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I assume they can contact you and
yeah,
Dr.
sure.
Jing to
Yes.
to get some advice
yes.
before the trip?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
So, we are getting close to the end of this forum, the Sweden-China, the second Sweden-China Entrepreneurship Forum in Haining Day. And we've had, as you've seen, we have had 6 companies that have presented, and they were competing this morning. And now it's time to disclose the results of the jury, because they were judged by a jury of 3 representatives from Haining and 3 representatives from Sweden, investors. So, I would like first, we're going to announce, because all, as I explained, all 6 are winners in a way, but also we have a number 1, a number 2, and number 3. So, we're going to start with number 3. And I would like to ask Mr. Chang to come up and help me to award number 3. And the winner of 3rd prize in the Haining Day competition 2019 is Byte Motion. Pictures. Thank you. I would like to ask Mr. Chen to join me on stage. And the 2nd prize winner in the 2019 Haining Day competition is, drum roll, Trifilon. And finally, I would like to ask Mr. Xu to come up. And number 1, the first prize winner in this year's competition is Epilovac. And then on a shared 4th prize is Trice Imaging, Performance Gate, Europe, and Ofina. Let's give them a hand as well. Now it is time to end this afternoon with some more networking. And the networking will be upstairs. You go out the door where you came in, but instead of going down the stair, you go straight ahead and up the flight of stairs to a terrace where there will be some drinks and some snacks and another more opportunity to mingle and network and talk with the delegation from Haining. And finally, I would like to, I'm just going to, there I got it. I would like to end by thanking everybody that's coming, all the finalists in the competition, all the other companies that were competing in that competition, all of you that came here today, the speakers, and our co-organizer, the Scandinavia Heining Center, and also a big thank you to our collaborating partners excuse me, from Heining, the City of Heining Municipal Government, the Heining High-Tech Industrial Park, and the Heining Economic Development Zone. Thank you everybody for coming. Please join us up there for some drinks and more networking and getting to know each other, and hope to see you next time. Thank you very much.